Questo per Ziyad.
Another absolute screamer, and still Lamine! Genius from Lamine Yamal. Harry Kane!
One of the most exhilarating down-to-the-wire championship fights we have seen.
The world's greatest drivers gather.
Oh, right on the door handles.
What a spectacle!
Kick on the way!
There is nothing like the Super Bowl.
Let's make history! This is sensational! The genius of modern boxing!
The following programme is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Good evening everyone and welcome to Jeddah here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Tonight later on in your main event, two-time unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua makes his highly anticipated comeback to face hard-hitting Kristian Prenga. AJ tonight on a mission to remind us all he is still absolutely a force to be reckoned with in boxing's glamour division.
He brought a country together. Probably the most destructive heavyweight in the world. The plan was always to be undisputed.
Frankie is coming out of Nigeria.
The fact he still wants to fight tells you everything you need to know about him.
This is my division. Ever since I come into boxing, I don't do this as a joke. I do this because it's what I do.
As LL Cool J said, don't call it a comeback.
Every time I elevate, it's something to celebrate. Anthony Joshua is a warrior. John Jones, I went to heavyweight on these featherweights.
Absolutely destroyed.
Keep your youth and maintain your health, cause the future is trouble. But you made for the struggle, and you born with the hustle. I'm a champion, I'm a win, I know. I'm a grind for mine, they can't stop me, no. Cause I live to show that it can be done. I'm a champion.
For me, it's just my life. I'm a fighter forever. This is just what I do.
Yes, we are live from the magnificent Jeddah Superdome for this bumper night of boxing. One night, 13 fights, all live and exclusive right here on the global home of boxing, DAZN. And it's a massive night, isn't it, in the career of Anthony Joshua here in Jeddah this evening. Very much, despite AJ being locked in on Kristian Prenga, and he needs to be, all 20 of his wins coming by way of knockout. It's also seen, isn't it, as the final hurdle to that epic showdown with Tyson Fury, who was victorious last night over in Thailand. And we are hearing that the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, is on his way to Jeddah to be ringside here tonight. Let's give you a little reminder of exactly what is on the menu here then from the Superdome this evening. Of course, we just spoke about massive night in the career of Anthony Joshua, who faces the big punching Kristian Prenga, who said all the right things in the build-up. He's told us to cancel the face-off with Fury, cancel the fight, cancel the party, because he's here tonight to spoil it all and win in knockout fashion. In the chief support, Hamza Shiraz, who became world champion just 9 weeks ago in the shadow of the Great Pyramids of Giza, defends that WBO World Super Middleweight Championship for the first time this evening against Simon Zackenhuber. More world title action on the card as well, as Josh Kelly defends his IBF World Super Welterweight title for the first time against the unbeaten and ambitious Kevin Ajako. One of the brightest stars of Japanese boxing, Reito Tsutsumi, fights for the first time in 2026 in his first scheduled 10-rounder against Alvino Herrera of Mexico. A battle of the unbeatens in the super middleweight division as well. 19-0 Jacob Bank against 18-0 Pavel August. The winner of this one undoubtedly will turn their attention to the winner of tonight's chief support. And opening the pay-per-view section, Indian Olympian Nishant Dev continues his journey against Cesar Diaz of Peru, one of Eddie Hearn's brightest prospects on the world stage. Plenty to look forward to though here on the prelims. A card so stacked we need 2 pages. Oleksandr Khyzhniak, 2-time Olympic medalist, faces Lenny Patrach. Ziyad Almaayouf, a familiar face on these shows from here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, looks to get back to winning ways against Frank Mango. Mikie Tallon of Liverpool, trained by Joe Gallagher, building a nice healthy unbeaten record. He steps up tonight against Orlando Pino. And Mohamed Alakel also in action, looking to move 9-0 against Lydon Chircop. Also in action here tonight, Sultan Almohammed, also of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, faces Efren Besalduch, an Egyptian pairing of Omar Hikal and Mohamed Mabrouk, who both won their professional debuts 9 weeks ago in Egypt, look to move 2-0 tonight here in Jeddah. Well, let's get straight on with the action then. Your commentary team from ringside is Darren Rees alongside Paul Smith. But first, your MC standing by. He's ready, looking as sharp as ever, is Thomas Triber.
Let's welcome to the ring, Bryan La Ráfaga Zapata.
Well, here is 25-year-old Colombian Bryan Zapata. Comes to us this evening off the back of a win, and of the 5 wins on his record, 4 of those have come by way of stoppage. Now, we have a saying in boxing, of have gloves will travel. This is country number 7 for Zapata. He's boxed in, and it is his 5th country in the past 12 months. These are different types of fighters, aren't they, Paul?
Yeah, they are. He's been in the hotel all week. He's been in good spirits, very friendly, but I've also seen him in the gym. Believe it or not, I actually do go sometimes, and he's in there working really hard in the gym as well. He looks sharp, he looks fit, he's young, he's definitely hungry. And as he said, he's got as gloves will travel, but I'm interested to see how he performs tonight.
But he just bounces his way to the stage in this magnificent arena, and it really is some spectacle.
And now let's welcome to the ring, Mahmoud Mubarak.
And fighter number 2 to walk into the arena tonight and to get us going, Mahmoud Mubarak made his professional debut on an unbelievable stage underneath the stars of the Pyramids of Giza in his home country on a massive card. Fight number 2 on another huge card, on the comeback of Anthony Joshua. Had a decent amateur career and was specially selected to train in the Mike Tyson gym in Saudi Arabia under the watchful eye of trainer Abel Sanchez, who has trained some great fighters over the years, the likes of Triple G, Terry Norris, Sergey Kovalev, and multiple others. To say he's in good hands would be an understatement.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the comeback.
It's World Championship Boxing from the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's being brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season, and Sella in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Gold Star Promotions. We get things started with 4 rounds scheduled in the super lightweight division. The judges are Nawaf Almohammed, Koji Tanaka, and Don Turan. Our referee in charge will be Andrei Shevelov. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue trunks and weighed in officially at 138.6 pounds. A native of Colombia, he is now fighting out of Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain, and brings a professional record consisting of 5 wins, 9 defeats, 1 draw, 4 of his 5 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bryan La Ráfaga Zapata. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing red with white and weighed in officially at 139.2 pounds. Hailing from Alexandria, Egypt, he has an undefeated record with 1 victory. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mahmoud Mubarak.
Okay, gentlemen, we have been all rules in the dressing room. I don't want to see near bit punches. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves back to your corners. Good luck.
Well, here we go then. Bout number 1 on a stacked card here at the Jeddah Superdome. Bryan Zapata versus Mahmoud Mubarak. 4 3-minute rounds scheduled in the super lightweight division. These two will want to kick the afternoon off in style. Zapata in the blue shorts comes straight out in the orthodox stance in there against Mubarak in the red and white. Both fighters will immediately try and establish the centre of the ring. A nice jab there from Mubarak, and he's good at that. He changes the levels often, and what we saw in that debut of his was he has got a little bit of that Abel Sanchez Mexican style to him, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more of that tonight, Paul Smith.
Yeah, he's got a nice wide solid base as well. Good jab. He's been caught with a little right hand there from Zapata. Once he settles in and gets his rhythm and pops that jab out, you'll see a bit better from him. Nice solid wide base, as you said. You can see that there's that right hand again, what I was saying from Zapata.
He's got to be careful of that. There's a couple of times which that's got through in the first 50 seconds, but it landed, it ever so slightly registered, and that'll be enough to hopefully make sure that that left hand doesn't remain low for the duration of this fight. But you can tell already that Zapata has turned up and is here to genuinely give it a go.
Yeah, and it looks like Mubarak's quite relaxed and chilled and probably needs to just wake up a little bit, get the jab going a bit more, get that left hand up, as you've just said rightly. But for Zapata, the confidence should be there now because he knows he can land that right hand, just step the feet in a little bit closer.
As Paul Smith said, Mubarak does look unbelievably relaxed, actually, very relaxed. The left hook got through there from Zapata, the Colombian.
Good right hand there from Mubarak.
Feels like that feeling out process is starting to come to an end already. And this is a decent start to this opening round. Mubarak just trying to control the distance with the jab as he gets Zapata on the ropes, but how long can he keep him there for? As that big whipping left hook come flying around the corner, and there's another right hand there from Mubarak.
Mubarak's definitely woke up now. He's definitely alive. Throws some nice shots there. He's hurt Zapata as well. I know Zapata felt that first shot, and then he's now on the back foot.
Solid right hand to the body there from Mubarak, who is trying to set the tone here, and the tone which he seems to be trying to set is it's going to be me on the front foot here, and every time you come forward I'm going to put a bit more pressure on you. And here he comes again.
And that makes sense, what you've just said. Oh, lovely right hand. Really nice shot.
He's starting to load up now. You could just see him dig his toes into the canvas there. And Zapata finds himself on the ropes, which is a dangerous place to be. And he doesn't want to be hanging around there, but he does give Mabrouk a little bit of a smile and then sticks his gloves back up to his head. And I think, Paul, he's going to need to be light on those toes, because standing in the same place at the same time isn't going to do him any favours here.
Yeah, I agree. A little reminder then at the end of the round as well for Mabrouk. Another little right hand getting home. I think Mabrouk has realised now, if I'm on the front foot, then he takes all the confidence away from Zapata. While Zapata was building confidence early in the round, he was landing a few silly shots, and Mabrouk was getting caught with a few silly shots. So it's definitely better for him to be on the front foot. We're listening to what Abel Sanchez is saying here. Unbelievable coach as well, by the way.
Well, here's a action replay of there's that right hand. He just ever so slightly stepped back from that jab, Paul, didn't he? Then just stuck it straight down the middle. Beautiful shot. Nice work,
really nice work. He timed it well as well. As I said, for Zapata, he's obviously now looking for the right hand because he's found a home for it a couple of times. So a lovely counter there from Mabrouk to counter the right hand.
Well, let's see what round two has to offer. Hopefully, plenty more of the same and some. As Zapata goes to stab the body with the jab, but ever so slightly is out of range. Mabrouk, just about the bigger of the two fighters, and he's just trying to time that right hand again, Paul. You could see him, he's trying to set it up.
Yeah, he doesn't really need to take too many gambles early on. Take the sting out of Zapata. You know, try a few more of these later on in the round. But the jab is key for Mabrouk. He's built a lot bigger, taller, wider range here. You know, let that jab go and start finding home, but don't load up with it. Just pop it out a few times, nice and relaxed, like that.
Mabrouk stands in that quite wide stance, actually. Plants his feet, and he does generate a decent bit of power from the way that he throws his shots. And Zapata, at the moment, for me, in this second round, doesn't look as confident as he was in the first 60 seconds. And I think that's probably because he's not landing shots like he was.
Yeah, and also added to that, a few straight right hands down the pipe will make you lose your confidence pretty sharpish as well. I think this Zapata, Mabrouk at the start of the round, he was just keeping the centre, trying not to let Zapata in too much, keep the centre of the ring and throw your shots from there.
Mabrouk got himself out of the way of those couple of shots which come back from Zapata, then gets his man, digs in that right uppercut, misses with the left hook. Doesn't want to be zapping too much energy. Nice shot, beautiful stuff.
Little acknowledgement there as well from Zapata that he got caught with a couple of good shots. Want to be careful not loading up too much, Mabrouk. Just let the shots go, let it flow, don't load up.
I know we say, Paul, that in boxing everything comes off the jab, but for Mabrouk it really does. He does have a lot more success when he leads with the jab.
Absolutely. You know, everyone knows the old sayings that there's plenty of them for the jab, but it is the most important shot in boxing. But it's important to have levels with the jab as well, not just a hard jab every time, not just a fast jab every time, sometimes a slow one, sometimes a light one. You know, mix it up and have levels with the jab, and it becomes very hard to read then.
Zapata having a go but missing. Mabrouk doing a little bit of showboating here. He's enjoying himself, but don't let that get too much in the way of your boxing. Mabrouk, who misses with the left hook there.
See, I think Mabrouk's missing with certain shots that he's loading up with. If he just lets them go fast and light, they'll land. With Zapata, in my opinion here, it's not about hitting him, it's about just landing and hitting the target. The more he lands, the more success he's going to have, Mabrouk.
Zapata landed a left hook, and then a right hand came straight back from Mabrouk. It was a beautiful return of shot. But for me, Paul, so far, it's 2-0 to Mabrouk. He's winning this.
Yeah, relatively straightforward to score, and as you said, you know, the home fight of the favourite is looking good. He looks strong. As I said, I'd like to listen to what Abel Sanchez is saying in there, because I'd be telling him my advice: don't load up too much. You know, I know you're landing, and that's the thing with fighters. I was still doing it after 20, 30 fights. Once you land against someone, you want it, it's a home run then. But if he just relaxes and lets them flow, just point score, He will have his success, and I think he can get the stoppage here.
Mabrouk is very good when he comes forward with those attacks, but so far we haven't seen too much second phase stuff. He'll land a good left hook, he'll land a good straight right hand, and then he'll kind of step back. I'm not saying he's admiring his work, but he's not following it up.
He probably is a little bit. I think he probably is a little bit. I think you're right saying that. Probably admiring it a little bit, but I agree with what you're saying. The next phase will be good. You know, go again and then go again. Land first and land third.
Mabrouk straight out into the centre of the ring. Double jab, right hand. Textbook stuff. Boxing foundations. And he's well and truly in control of this at the moment.
He's got good footwork as well, hasn't he? Just a nice little push out of range and then counter.
I'll tell you what, he missed big time there with that left hook. It just went over the head and he nearly lost his footwork for a very short period of time. What's Zapata got to do to get himself back in his fight, Paul?
Obviously not taking as much shots as he's taken, but I think he's got to take the fight to Mabrouk, try and get him on the back foot. I think Mabrouk stepping back, there you go, it's nice. He's got to go in, keep his hands high. He's got a little bit of blood around the nose now, Zapata as well. He's got to first not get too disheartened. That was a good little feint here and there. Just try and break the rhythm up of Mabrouk, who's now finding the rhythm and looking very, very confident.
Very confident indeed. And the showboating is increasing ever so slightly as the moments of this fight go by. You can tell he's aggressive with those shots as well. He really lets everything go into him, which is fine in a 4-round contest, but I guess as the fights go by and the rounds go up, he'll have to learn how to manage that energy, and it's that fight management then, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, he's got a lot to learn. Ring craft, where he is in the ring, how he's holding himself, his hands being low. Now that's nice and relaxed, but when you've been caught with a few overhand right hands, I wouldn't recommend it early on in a fight, in the third round of a fight that's longer than 4-round schedule. But it'll be interesting to see what Abel Sanchez says after the fight about the performance. So I think he's loading up a little bit too much. I don't want to be too critical because everything else looks really good from him. He's certainly a talent. He looks a very good fighter. The fact that Abel Sanchez is working with him says a lot about him, because he doesn't work with just anyone. So I'll be excited to see how he does in future, but I'd like to see him really stay switched on here and establish that jab.
Moments ago, Zapata found a bit of confidence there. He came flying forward, but without much success. And here comes Mabrouk once again.
This is good work from Mabrouk.
And can he keep his man on the ropes and not get wrapped up? It's about having the availability and the space to work, because he has got those long levers and he knows exactly how to let them go, and he's good at taking that step back and then pinging the right hand straight off of it.
Yeah, you bang on. Don't smother your work. When you get too close, sometimes it's, you know, you panic when you get inside. He's got to stay relaxed. Try and keep that distance between them, exactly as you said.
We're going to the last 20 seconds of the penultimate round. Mabrouk will casually just carry on at the same tempo. He knows he's well and truly in control of this fight. And as it stands, he's cruising on to 2-0 in a very early career. And a young man to look out for.
Yeah, he looks talented, he does. And listen, it's like a blank canvas when you're looking at it from an old pro or an old coach or an old manager's eye, which I am, and I think there's a fair bit to work on, but it'd be exciting to listen in.
Coming up later on, Hamza Shiraz is in action against Zaka Huga. Shiraz only won that world title 63 days ago and did it in a very impressive way. He'll be looking to put on a very impressive performance yet again tonight, and this place will be excited to see him. But let's have a little look at that previous round, and there it is, Paul.
Yeah.
It's that lead hand, isn't it? And then the rest follows beautifully.
Yeah, that was a really nice combination. In fact, Zapata looked to the ropes before. Just looking in the corner, he's blowing a little bit. You know, he's throwing a lot of effort into these shots, as you rightly pointed out before. I'd like to see him just let his hands go. Don't worry about the power.
Well, let's see if he can do a bit of that. Be interested to know what Abel Sanchez said in that previous break before we started this fourth and final round. I'm sure there'll be plenty which he's been pleased with, but all the top trainers will find things to work on, and there always will be things to work on.
Absolutely, and we as commentators outside will always find things, but you have to remember this kid's in his second pro fight. I remember my second pro fight. certainly wasn't polished at all. You know, you have to learn, and that's what these type of fights are for. And Zapata has been the ideal opponent to look good against. He's there. He's got to stay and test. He's landed a few shots. He's not a complete walkover. He's still trying now, and I think it's a good performance from Mabrouk. I think he will always think he can do better, but another few boxes ticked tonight.
And a good right hand over the top there from the Colombian, who's probably been told by his corner, right, fourth and final round, just go out there and give it everything you've got. Because I don't think he's at the level to be competing with Mabrouk. He's had his moments within this fight, and he's landed some good shots. Let's not write him off at all.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, but what you find out with these type of opponents who are there to try the best to win, they've got that ambition. They'll keep trying till the final bell, whereas someone who's losing a lot will just shut up shop and not want to get stopped because we're going to fight again in a couple of weeks. So it's good to see from Zapata.
It's always good to see fighters who come and properly give it a go. Who genuinely, like you said, Paul, will go until the final bell. They just keep throwing, they keep having a go non-stop. Zapata, a couple of rounds where there wasn't so much of that, but definitely a better start in this fourth and final one. So we go into the final minute. Good work off the jab, keeping his distance, Mabrouk. And this is good on the back foot as well, Paul, isn't it? He's just showing a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he can do it. He can box on the back foot. He can obviously come forward on the front foot. I think he's been better when he comes forward positively off the jab. We haven't seen as much of the jab in this round. He started off really well, but then it just went away, and he's leading with the right hand and looking for the power shots again. But listen, that's expected, as I said. In a young kid in a second fight on a stage like this, you're going to always try and get the knockout. And I would call him if he wasn't trying to get the knockout, so the kid can't win, really. Nice, that was really nice uppercut.
Well, what a couple of fights it's been for Mabrouk. As we said, his debut was under the stars at the Pyramids. And fight number 2, as we go into the last 10 seconds here in this truly brilliant arena on a gigantic card, topped by Anthony Joshua tonight. And he's done himself proud, and as we said, there'll be bits and pieces in there which Abel Sanchez would have been chuffed with, and there will be a fair few things which he will pick up on and try to tidy up before the next fight. And I guess for a fighter like this, Paul, it's just about activity and matching him with the right types of opponents.
Yeah, any fighter at that stage and at that level, you just want to be busy. I've said it a couple of times, and I hope the promoters don't hear it, because that's good news to them, but a lot of the time you would sacrifice money to get more fights. You'd take a little bit less money to get more fights at this stage. That's how important it is. You need to just be busy, learn your trade. This is your apprenticeship when you first turn professional. The more fights you can get, especially on big stages like this, it's priceless for a young fighter coming through.
Well said, that man. And that was a good card, a good bouncer. Open up the card. 13 fights in total from the bottom all the way up to the top. And I think, but coming up a little bit later on, after Anthony Joshua, Errol Spence Jr. is back in business. 3 years out of the ring and straight into this fight with Tim Tszyu in Sydney. And fair play to him, he could have gone a different route, but he's gone for a hard fight there, and that is going to be a good one to watch. Well, Thomas Triver is poised and ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Koji Tanaka scores it 39-37. And both judges, Nawaf Almohammed and Don Tehran, score it the same, 40-36. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Mahmoud Mabrouk.
Well, congratulations to Mahmoud Mabrouk, he walked into the arena with a big smile on his face earlier on, took his shoes off, had a little bounce around on that canvas with another big smile on his face, and there he is with another big smile on his face. Exciting stuff for a young fighter very early on in their journey, and it's a privilege to sit ringside and see some of these fighters, especially in the early days, because you never know what they might do.
Yeah, you just never know. Some of these might make it, some of these might get there. Some of these can be huge stars in the home country. Don't forget where we are at the moment in the Middle East. There's a lot of these countries who haven't had the success that we have. You know, we're very spoilt in the UK, especially in the USA, with champions and champions and champions, and a lot of these people are vying to be, sometimes some of them are vying to be the first world champion from their country. So there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders as well. There's a lot of work to be done, but it's exciting to see them at the very start, and he looks a good talent, Mabrouk.
He does look a good talent, and just watching a bit back here, it's nice to see the slow-mos actually, because you can appreciate his timing a little bit more then, can't you?
Yeah, you can, and it was a good effort from Zapata as well. One of the judges gave him a round. I didn't really agree with that, but it was a good spirited effort, as you say, and it's what you want from opponents at this stage. You don't really want opponents just coming in and just shutting up shop and not wanting to get stopped, because we don't see much of the prospect, and it's difficult to break players down like that, fighters down like that, like a football match with teams when they park the bus, so to speak. But listen, it's a decent performance, and he can be very happy with that, especially on this stage.
He certainly can. Well, there you go, first fight done and dusted.
Yeah, congratulations then to Mahmoud Mabrouk, who moves 2-0 here in tonight's opener. And speaking of ring returns, tonight, of course, a chance for Anthony Joshua to sharpen the tools ahead of that mega fight with Tyson Fury. By no means overlooking Kristian Prenga, but AJ has said he sees this fight as a test to pass on a journey back to the top of the heavyweight division.
He wants to come in my territory. I'm the landlord. I'm going to welcome you into my home. You don't welcome me into your home. I buy your home.
He proved that he's still got that side of him, the killer, the ferocious finisher.
I become world champ. On the way to that, I become unified champ. And on the way to that, I got an opportunity to fight for the undisputed champion. So.
It is lights out! Anthony Joshua!
Someone else in my position may have done better. Someone else sat in this seat may do worse. But I've done it to the best of my capability, and I'm still going strong, trust me. You know, I was thinking about why I do it today. What's the purpose? I still feel like I've got a lot of room for improvement. I feel like it's definitely my identity. I went through a big transition of realigning my focus again, because I want to do it. I want to do it to my best of my capability. So the goal is obviously to set yourself up to be able to stop.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I don't want to. I don't want to. I still feel really good.
There's still dreams and targets that you're going for that you haven't got yet?
Yeah, so I believe that the undisputed target is the one. Because I think, in my mind, what's beneath that? Unification. What's beneath that? World champion. So let's set the bar where I know I can go.
And it's a big bar.
It's a big bar, but I believe that it's one that can be achieved, and on the way to that, I become world champ. On the way to that, I become unified champ, and on the way to that, I got an opportunity to fight for the undisputed champion. So it's a great journey, it's a great progression that I can see happening all in front of me. But the first step, obviously, is getting back on a gravy train, July 25th.
Yes, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and that is where Anthony Joshua begins tonight on his journey back towards heavyweight dominance. And coming up on DAZN, we have even more great boxing action for you. Next week we're in Dublin, Ireland for Pierce O'Leary defending his IBO super lightweight title against Mark Chamberlain. Later that night we head stateside for Lamont Roach versus William Zapata for the WBC lightweight world championship. On August the 15th, Clarissa Shields challenges Kay Scott for the WBC middleweight strap. And from the GWOAT to the queen of women's boxing, on September the 5th, Katie Taylor fights for the final time in her farewell dream night at a sold-out Croke Park in Dublin, Ireland. On we go with the action then, straight back to your MC, Mr. Thomas Stryberry, standing by.
Let's continue, and first welcome to the ring from Spain, Bryan Castellano.
Yes, the action continues here in the Jeddah Superdome. And the next fighter making his way to the ring, as Thomas Triver said, is Bryan Castellano, 28 years old, from Valencia. 3 fights into his professional career, and comes to us tonight on the back of 2 wins. This is his first fight out of his home country of Spain, and it's got to be a little bit daunting, Paul.
Yeah, it has. It all depends on how these fighters deal with the environment, the situation. It's quite quiet in here at the moment. The fans aren't really filling up at the moment, so once the bell goes, obviously that all goes out the window. But it's a big occasion. It's a big deal to be in the ring on one of these shows, especially against the home fighter.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Egypt, Omar Hikal.
And talking of big stages, Omar Hikal, also another fighter who made his debut under the stars at the Pyramids, and it was a very good debut indeed. But he is the son of the Egyptian boxer Mohamed Hikal, who didn't only box Gennady Golovkin, he didn't only box Oleksandr Usyk, but he boxed Paul Smith as well.
Yeah, I've been in the hotel with him all week, and I never forget faces. I knew his face, but he beat me, and I'm happy that he beat Golovkin and Usyk as well, because that makes me feel a little bit better. He beat me on a points in a good close one in Hungary. It was in a box cup in Hungary, but he was a really good fighter, very, very experienced.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the middleweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season, and Sella in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Gold Star Promotions. The judges are Nawaf Almohammed, Pavel Cardini, and Marcin Pavlak. Our referee in charge is Don Tehran. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 160.8 pounds. Coming to us from Villarreal, Spain, he brings a record of 2 wins with just 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bryan Castellano. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing black with silver and weighed in officially at 160.6 pounds. Hailing from Cairo, Egypt, he is undefeated with 1 win. That 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Omar Hikal.
Boxers, obey my commands all the time. No rabbit punches, kidney punches, or below the belt. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves, got away. Your corners, good luck.
Well, here we go then, bout 2 of a magnificent afternoon and evening of boxing here at the Jeddah Superdome. Bryan Castellano in the black shorts of Spain in there against Omar Hikal. Let the action begin. Both fighters straight into the centre of the ring. Hikal boxing in the southpaw stance. He looks stocky, Paul, doesn't he? Looks strong.
Yeah, he's solid. As I said, I've just seen his dad. His dad was the same, quite solid, but his dad was also a southpaw. Again, as we've seen in the previous fight, nice and relaxed. Not too fast to start, easing his way into it.
And Hikal, if we see anything like we did in the debut, he was a fantastic body puncher in that fight, but also worked that southpaw jab beautifully as well. So a real relaxed start here. Just having a look, just gauging his distance. And he looks ultra focused. Castellano is being pushed on the back foot immediately. Whether he's happy or not boxing in that position or not, we'll soon find out, especially when the first proper attack comes in from Hikal.
That's the thing, though. There's a little bit of a line between being patient and waiting and not out against and having an opponent who's just not wanting to engage. I think that's what we're seeing with Castellano. He's not trying to engage, so I think Hikal's going to have to step it up a little bit, start squeezing a little bit more, making the ring a little bit smaller for Castellano.
And Hikal doing a good job of just getting his southpaw lead foot on the outside of Castellano's foot, and he just stepped off and threw a nice left hand through the middle a few moments ago. That's a shot which he'll be looking for. But he missed big time there, and he was lucky he didn't pay a little bit more.
Yeah, but that also shows you as well there's a bit of danger there, so you need to be careful and feel out with the jab. I'd like to see a little bit more of the jab. I'd like to see him cut the ring off a little bit more instead of following him, stepping across. Try and make that ring as small as you can for Castellano so he can't move too far away from you.
And Castellano, he does look a little bit worried when the punches start coming. He kind of covers up and almost looks down and looks up to think, right, has that attack ended yet? It'd be nice to see a little bit more from him, but understandably, he's a little wary.
Also got the high shorts, quite a short torso to protect as well, so he's covering up really, really well. Castellano's going to be difficult to prize him open and find the openings yourself. You see how high his waistband is on the shorts there.
But a pretty non-eventful round so far, which is often the case actually, especially with the young fighters. And he's not done anything wrong there. He's just trying to work his man out. He's just trying to get him to commit a little bit, but he didn't.
Yeah, as we said, you know, you don't want to be too picky and too critical of these young kids coming through. I'm saying it as, you know, what I would like to see more of, and what I would like to see more of is him cutting the ring off better, making the ring smaller for Castellano so he has to stand and engage with you, and then when he engages, try and land a few counters and try and make Castellano make a few mistakes to open him up. But if you let him just move around and circle on the back, then it's going to be a pretty uneventful fight for him. So establish the jab a little bit better. As we said before, everything back to the jab all the time.
But only 4 rounds this one, so really he needs to start getting to work, doesn't he, in the next round?
Yeah, and what you said was spot on. You know, as usually is the case, the fights will start quite slow and uneventful, but that's a 12-round fight. In these type of fights, you've got to make sure you get these last 3 rounds if that first round isn't scored in your favour. So, you know, a little bit more urgency.
Will we see it? Will we see the urgency from Omar, Hikal? Will Bryan, Castellano come out with a little bit more about him? And this round starting in exactly the same way as the opening round did. And like you said, Paul, there is a bit of a line, isn't there? At the moment, well, there you go. We're starting to see a tiny bit more.
Yeah, I'd like to see him step over to his left a little bit more. Just take a step to the left now and stop Castellano from moving. He's circling to his right all the time. And if Hikal can just step over to the left and have him going the other way, just makes that ring a little bit smaller for him. Rather than following him around and circling with him, just step across. Let your own shots go, make the ring a bit smaller.
Is it more of a job to cut the ring off if you've got a southpaw versus an orthodox fighter?
Yeah, and we'll see it a few times tonight because there's a few southpaws on the show. And also what we said earlier on in the previous fight, it's about ring craft as well. You know, these young kids coming through, that's how you pick your experience up, by doing it. So they're only going to really learn in here and in the gym. But a lot of the ring craft is also about making the ring a bit smaller, cutting it off, being aware of where you are in that ring and not following your opponent. This is better stuff from Hikal though.
That was good work. He just dipped down through that lead hook under the body and a right, straight left hand, sorry, followed. And it does look like he's trying to land almost a perfect shot. Castellano on the ropes again.
I'd like to see him keep it on him now. Sorry, I'd like to keep him, see him keep that pressure on there. Don't let him back up. You know, back him up again to the ropes.
No, what I was going to say is Castellano looks like he's going to go, and then he kind of doesn't. He doesn't commit to it, does he? Hikal back to trying to control the centre of the ring. And I think we're going to see plenty more of this. Good body shot under the right elbow. Good work. Digs in to the canvas and just starting to let his hands go properly now is Hikal.
I like the way he's keeping his distance. He's not smothering his work. He's keeping a nice range between them both to let these shots go. This is a good burst from Hikal.
But a big swing and a miss there, but Hikal got the bit between his teeth. He just resets there. It's Castellano. Tries to come forward with something. Something isn't enough though.
I think he landed a good body shot at the very start of that flurry then. I think he must have heard a little noise, maybe the oxygen seeping out of Castellano, and then he put his foot down. But it was good work when he did put his foot down, wasn't it?
He was. When he started to let his hands go, it was much more like it. And Castellano tries to finish the round strongly. A little bit more action, but not a showstopper by any means.
No, but it shows us glimpses of what he obviously has, you know. And if his engine's good and his fitness is good, and he can go through gears, he can go up the gears and down the gears and up the gears, because he took it up a gear or two there, and it was a nice flurry, nice to watch. As I say, the technique was good as well, and I liked the fact that he wasn't smothering his work too much, which we can see it on the replay. He's not getting too close. He's able to let them shots go. It's a lovely straight left hand there from the southpaw stance.
I think you're bang on, Paul, and you said that he maybe heard something, whether it was a body shot, because something triggered him to go, and it was here, which he had him in the corner, and really started to let his hands go, and he smelt a bit of blood there. But he missed, and then that was the end of the attack, wasn't it?
Yeah, he come on. He was just maybe a little bit guilty of loading up too much, which you would do once you have someone out like that, as you say.
Well, let's see what this round has to offer. Omar Hikal comes out of that red corner, straight into the centre of the ring, meets his man there. Castellano just trying to pop that jab out. It hasn't landed a memorable shot for me so far. And the biggest moment of the fight was a replay, which we saw 30 seconds ago or so. Do you think Hikal's trying to use that jab to make him commit, trying to feint with it and getting him to do something so he can land that straight left hand?
I personally think Hikal is used to fighters coming to him, and sometimes you see that with fighters who see the counter. He throws really, really nice, sharp counters, Hikal, and I think he's used to countering people. But the problem with that is when someone isn't engaging with you, it's a pretty, it's a bit of a stalemate, and eventually one of you has to force the pace. And when he did force the pace before, we've seen what he can do. So, as I said in the first round, I'd like to see him just go forward a little bit more, just starting to cut the ring off, make it a smaller place, as I keep saying, and then let your shots go and just let them flow. Don't look for the perfect shot. Just get your hands going.
And that is what these early days are about, aren't they? This is what they call the apprenticeship. It's fighting all these different fighters with different styles. You're going to have people who come to you, and you're most certainly going to fight these away corner fighters who won't engage. And he needs to work out how to do it. Not that he's doing a bad job of it, but it's just learning.
Yeah, he looks good, as you say. And listen, there was no one more guilty than me of looking for the home run and looking for the Hollywood highlight reel knockout, but they tend to come when you're not looking for them, and you just let your hands flow.
Castellano just gets clipped with the lead hook there from Hikal. And that was a good shot down to the body, dipped his legs and just chucked it in.
Very, very good shot.
There we go. Whether the referee's going to call that a knockdown, he is. And Castellano doesn't look too chuffed around it. And he nods to the referee to say, I'm absolutely fine, let me get on with it. And what is the response going to be here from Omar Hikal?
Very, very dangerous with the counters, Hikal. You can tell he works on them in the gym. You can tell he's, by the way he's performing tonight, he's waiting for something to react to. He's waiting for any lazy shots to counter. There's a good little body shot there from what I saw.
And he just snuck a left hand through, and he did register. Because Castellano kind of shook his head and had to shake it off a little bit before he got back to doing some form of boxing.
We'll have a look at the replay at the end of the round. I think the feet may have been tangled, but a shot landed and he went down. So by the rules and by the law, I think it has to be scored a knockdown. Good shot there.
That was a nice shot to finish the round. When he lets his hands go, Hikal, he really does let them go. And they are some unforgiving shots which he throws. And they come from that guard and that southpaw stance with quite some speed as well. Well, here's a little bit of what we just saw.
Well, not at his elbow, but listen, this is the thing. See, sometimes the rules of boxing get in the way. He's pulling his head down, and I think Castellano switches off. The shot hits his elbow, but he goes down, and a punch is landed on the target area, albeit blocked on the elbow, and he's give the knockdown. It's, I think with the beauty of boxing is there's no video replay. If there was video replay, the ref might have to change his mind there, but I can see exactly why he gave it at the time in real speed.
We can't have VAR in boxing, not in my opinion anyway.
No, absolutely. It's bad enough in the footy.
With Josh Kelly, Kevin Adjarko coming up a little bit later on. That is set to be a good one. Josh Kelly, of course, defending his world title. And your brother, of course, trains Adjarko.
Yeah, Kevin, he's a good kid. Kevin Adjarko, when he trains unbelievably hard. He's unbeaten. He's obviously very, very ambitious. And this is his chance. This is his chance to do it. But obviously, he's in with Josh Kelly, who's a very, very good fighter. New world champion who will have that confidence of being a newly crowned world champion. But I think it's a really, really good fight tonight, and one that I'm very interested in.
Looking forward to that one a little later on the main card. Of course, you can buy the pay-per-view, thezone.com. Got 7 fights on the prelims here this afternoon, here in Jeddah. And Hikal has come out with a little bit more urgency, not stacks of it, but there's certainly a little bit more forward movement, and there's definitely more shots coming from that southpaw stance than there was in the 3 previous rounds anyway.
Yeah, and I think that will help him, but again, me just watching him for the first time live, I think he is a very, very good counter-puncher, and as a result, this is good, though. When he lets his hands go, this is what I'm saying, and exactly what you said. He does it so well, so why doesn't he do it more?
Some spiteful punches there from Hikal. Can he do more of it? Yeah, that's a beautiful lead uppercut there.
This will be ideal also. You ideally want your fighters to have 3 good rounds and have a stoppage in the last round of every fight that they have, so they're getting the right experience and they're not just blasting these fighters out of there. He's a very spiteful puncher, Hikal.
He is, and there is still a long way to go in this round, especially when you've got barrages of punches coming towards you. And we can hear them from a few feet away, and they have got some venom in them. But he's not getting carried away, Hikal. He is doing some good boxing, but he gets back and he resets, and then he goes again when he feels is the right time to do so. But like you said, Paul, he can look really dangerous when he wants to, and that was a great counter punch, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was class. That's what I said before. I think it's definitely made me mind up now. He is a very, very good counter puncher, so I think he's used to reacting to things, and when Castellano's not giving him anything to react to, we're seeing a bit of a lull in the action. But now, obviously, he's turning the screw. He's forcing Castellano to throw, and then he's reacting and countering again. He's got a lot of quality, Hikal.
Quality indeed. Let's see if he can finish this round with more of it. Another beautiful straight left hand through the middle there from Hikal, and Castellano just caught a facial expression there, and I think he'll be pleased to hear the final bell, because this has been a tough night at the office for the Spaniard. Good strong end. Omar Hikal, when he wanted to be, he was ferocious, and he landed some significant shots, the eye-catching shots, the ones which the judges take note of.
Yeah, the ones that the judges cannot take note of. That was in flurries and in parts of that fight. He was exceptional. He boxed really well, throws some lovely, good quality shots. Them counters, that's again just a split second faster, and that could have asked questions of Castellano there. Just a glancing shot there, but honestly, I'm really impressed with some of the action that I've seen from him there. When he opens up and lets his hands go, he's a very, very good fighter.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Omar Hikal progresses as time goes by. as Paul Smith has said to me, sat ringside. He's a great counter puncher, and I think when we see fighters coming at him, those who are willing to commit, that's when he's going to get those eye-catching shots on a more regular basis, and he's going to look more impressive as time goes by. But plenty to like there. And this is what's coming up. For the O2 Arena in London, Moses Atauma's toughest fight yet, surely. The O2 Arena will be electric for that one. The city will light up for it, and Moses Atauma will be looking to do what he always does. But Hrgović is no mug whatsoever. Well, both fighters are in the centre of the ring, and Thomas Triber is ready, so over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards, and all 3 judges, Nawaf Almohammed, Pavel Cardini, and Marcin Pablak, are in agreement. They all scored the same, 40-35, for your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Omar Hikal.
Well done to Omar Hikal. That's exactly where we expected it to go. And as we said earlier on, it's going to be interesting to see his career progress. He's got this demeanour about him, Paul. He's quite a stern character, isn't he? Not many smiles there. He reminds me a bit of Bivol.
Yeah, and I mean this in a nice way. It's that quiet arrogance what a lot of top fighters have and have to have. There's that quiet arrogance of knowing how good he is. I'll take me time, I don't need to rush, I can take me time, I'm still going to get you. And I thought it was a very measured performance tonight. As I said at the start, not being critical, I liked to sort of a little bit more action when there was a bit too much. Like the first round was basically, you know, non-existent, but after that, once he started putting his foot down and turning the screw, there was a lot of quality there in him. And he will be one to get excited out in the future, definitely.
I think when he looks back at that fight, it will see how dangerous he looked when he did let his hands go. And that will hopefully urge him on to do plenty more of the same when his third bout comes about. Well, here's a bit of action replay, and there it is. That's the ferocious punching which he can do.
I'm impressed a lot with the distance he has here. You can see him, he just uses his forearm to nudge Castellano away to keep that distance. He's not falling in with his shots. He's perfect middle range punching. But them counters there, you see the slashing right hook there, what he tried to land just before the body shot there at the elbow. So very impressed with him tonight in flurries.
Well, so far, so good this evening. And plenty more of that to come as the evening goes by. Beautiful shots.
Yeah, plenty more to come in the career of young Omar Hikal, and plenty more to come here in Jeddah tonight. So much of the talk has been about Anthony Joshua and his upcoming fight with Tyson Fury, but Joshua's opponent tonight, Kristian Prenga, is confident he can upset all of the plans that have been made later here in the main event.
Sexy, huh?
We are in my training camp in gym in Lyndhurst, New Jersey, boxing gym. This is my home. I start here boxing when I come in US, and they give me everything here.
Camp is going great. We're at the halfway point. There's another 30 days to go. We brought in some great sparring partners, Price Taylor, some guys from Philly, Miami. You know, you go up against the best. We have tons of respect for AJ, but on fight night, KT's going to pull it out.
I work 2-3 times a day. Boxing skills, condition. I feel excited. I wait alone for this.
we would talk about fighting, we would talk about stuff, and we was like, yeah, I'm gonna fight AJ, I'm gonna fight AJ, and I'm like, okay, all right. And then when we got that call, I was with him, we were coming to train, and I'm like, really? Like, he just manifested it, I guess.
They call this the comeback, and for me, this is one of the great comebacks.
It's my time now. I need to show the world.
What they have in Kristian Prenga is a live dog who's coming for it all. This is a win-win fight for Kristian Prenga. This is a lose-lose for you.
I'm gonna do my best ever. I'm gonna be proud. Me and all my country. It's for my country. It's the biggest fight in history for Albania. If I win this fight, I'm gonna make the history for my country. You're a great boxer, you're a great fighter, but in the ring I don't have respect for nobody.
Well, it's all building nicely, isn't it? We are nearly there, and in heavyweight boxing, the reason we love it is absolutely anything can happen. The build-up and countdown to tonight's main event well and truly on. AJ, of course, tops the bill, but 2 World Championship fights feature on a stacked undercard, as well as so much more, as you can see in your screens there. Another reminder of what is coming your way on the pay-per-view portion of the card. Keep your eyes peeled for that fight. Josh Kelly versus Khyzhniak. Been a tremendous build-up, and expecting the fire to rage on once the opening bell rings here in Jeddah tonight. As far as the prelims go, though, we are ready. Straight on with the action. Standing by once again, Thomas Driver.
Let's now welcome to the ring from Spain, Efren Besalduch.
For the second Spanish fighter to walk to the ring this evening, Efren Besalduch, 30 years old, from Valencia, 7 fights so far in his professional career, a mix of results, 3 wins, 3 defeats, and just that 1 draw. And again, this is his first fight outside of his home country of Spain, but he looks focused, and he's got to be nervous as he walks in to this massive arena with all of these bright lights, and I'm sure it'll be the first time that he's experienced something of this magnitude. Even if every seat isn't full yet, I'm sure the nerves are jangling as he climbs into the ropes, and nothing but respect for everyone who does that job.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Saudi Arabia, the undefeated Sultan El Niño Almohammed.
Here is a very exciting 18-year-old Saudi Arabian fighter, Sultan Almohammed from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. He's had some start to his career. Boxed his debut on the undercard of Crawford versus Canelo. His second fight was here in Saudi on a stacked card with the likes of David Benavidez and Devin Haney. His third fight on the undercard of Fury Magmadov at the Tottenham Stadium. And then he too was on that magnificent show outside with the pyramids in the background. Some start to a professional career, Paul Smith.
Yeah, not often. Just look at that entrance, the big screen behind him, things like this. Like, just getting sometimes when you turn pro, your own music on to walk to the ring, that's sometimes a privilege, because sometimes you just ushered in fast, you fight, you get out. Never mind being on television or being on a stage this big. And as I said, he'd be delighted being on here, Sultan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the featherweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season, and Sella in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Gold Star Promotions. The judges are Nawaf Al-Mohammed, Arkadiusz Malik, and Marcin Pavlak. Our referee in charge is Koji Tanaka. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing white with red and yellow trim and weighed in officially at 127.2 pounds. Coming to us from Vinaros, Spain, he brings a professional record consisting of 3 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw. 1 of his 3 wins comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Efren Besalduch. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing red and black and weighed in officially at 128 pounds. Hailing from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he is undefeated with 4 wins. 3 of his 4 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sultan El Nino Almohammed.
Okay, obey my command at all time. Oh, I say stop, you stop. I say break, you break. Okay? Or watch your head, or roll blow, or rabbit punch. Okay? Okay? Okay, let's go.
And as a referee says, let's go, Besalduch in the white shorts with the red trim. Almohammed in those red shorts, bouncing up and down in that red corner. Fight number 5 for him in the professional ranks. 3 stoppages on his record already. Only 18 years old, but what we've seen so far is maturity. And somebody who looks like they're enjoying the pro game. He too was another one who bounced into this arena earlier on and had a bounce around the ring just to feel it out and have a look at what he would be boxing in later on. And it's quite something to be boxing on these types of cards when you are so young. It's a great opportunity, and he's making the most of it so far.
It's also very difficult when you've got that flag on your shorts representing the kingdom here in the kingdom. There's a lot of pressure on the fighters here to deliver, and the amount of money and investment that the kingdom have put into boxing, they want to see their own coming through to eventually have their own world champions here. You see the Mike Tyson club on his shorts. It's a great gym in Riyadh with the developing champions over there. And it's going to happen one day. It's just a race to see which one of them will do it first.
It's already becoming clear that this part of the world is becoming a boxing part of the world. And as you say, we are starting to see it already. Some genuine good talents. And one of them is in the ring here this afternoon early, here this evening in Jeddah. That was a good body shot, straight under the right elbow there from Almohammed. He gets caught there with a jab as he makes his entrance.
Said time and again tonight, and again we see it with a lot of the young fighters just being a little bit too eager. But it happens. I've been there. I know what it's like. You land one good shot and then you want to land another one straight away and another one. But I like the way he's touching the head first and then going to the body, going downstairs and upstairs, mixing it up. It was a good body shot.
Well, Besalduch does look like an experienced operator. I don't know how much experience he's got in other fight sports, whether there is any. But you can tell he knows what he's doing, and he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. For somebody who's only had a handful of fights, really. There's been some good work here from Almohammed. Some lovely left hooks to the body. And I guess Besalduch is kind of open to those because he tucks up nice and tight and he leaves that gap open like he does there. That was a third one in about 30 seconds, which has landed.
Almohammed's setting some really nice traps. He's pulling the high guard down of Besalduch, and then he's going to the head, but he pulled it down there and went to the body and tried to trick him with it, the old trick, and it worked. Little things that he will be picking up with Abel Sanchez working in the gym. He's looking good when he lets his hands go.
That was nice there from Almohammed. Just slipped the straight right hand on the outside through the left hook under the right elbow. It was textbook stuff. It's the sort of stuff which you teach a kid when they come into the gym, isn't it? It's those things, when they can do those really well, that is what separates good fighters to exceptional fighters, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like his variety. He's going to the head, then the body, body then head. He's pulling the arms down and going to the head, pulling them down to make Besalduch think he's going to the head, whipping him into the body. They're things that you pick up in the gym off the older, more experienced fighters. They're things that you pick up off watching the very, very top level fighters do their stuff. You might see a little bit of it here. That's when he walks onto a little jab at the start, which, listen, Besalduch has a decent jab as well. You see him just pulling the arm down and then throwing the left hook. And there's a
little stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, very, just, as I say, they're little traps and they're little tricks of the trade that you pick up in the gyms, especially being around them American gyms.
Well, we saw that left hook to the body multiple times in that round, and in his last fight, his 4th professional contest, that is how he got his man out of there. And it was a textbook liver shot, one of those delayed reactions where you see him go down and you think they're never getting up from that. So he'll still have that in his mind, and he's shown he's capable of doing that kind of thing to experienced opponents. And of course, he would love to do that again here this evening.
I saw a little bit of reddening and swelling under the right eye of Besalduch when he was walking back to his corner. He'll probably be keeping his hands up high here, which will again open up to the body for them body shots, which Almohammed's throwing really nice.
Couple of right hands fud into the left glove of Almohammed from Besalduch. Nothing getting through cleanly though. I think that's down to the defensive work for Almohammed. He's got a tight guard when he's in range. And he's defensively good with his feet when he's out of range and doing the right things. There's that left hook to the body again. Just none of those shots from Besalduch are getting through at the moment, are they, Paul?
No, not really, but he did have a bit of good... Looked like a decent body shot to me, that. He was landing with the jab before, wasn't he, Besalduch? So for me, that's the shot for him. Try and catch Almohammed as he's loading up, as he's coming in. But to be honest with you, he just looks like he's got a bit too much for him here.
Good combination there from Almohammed. He's got his man on the ropes in the corner, and he looks like he's just kind of going through the motions, just putting his shots together, and it's fluid, which you can tell he's not really thinking about too much of it because it's coming out quite naturally. It was a good left hook.
He throws really nice body shots, Almohammed. So therefore, go to the head first, touch the head with a few light shots, and then whip them down. But don't throw them from too far out. Back them up to the ropes if you can. Touch, and then whip them down. This is where he needs to be here now. Touch the head first, and then whip them round to the body.
His left hooks like that from Besalduch that Almohammed just needs to be wary of, and there it is again, lands on the top of his head. Not that it's causing him any problems, but they are shots which are getting through. There's another one. It's almost like he heard you, because he does seem to be going upstairs and then dropping in one to the body afterwards. And there was a little bit of a change there.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you're a body puncher, and I was a body puncher, my amateur coach used to tell me not to throw a single body shot in the first round and let him get confident and let him loosen up down to the body, lift his hands high, stick to the head. But when you're a body puncher, which some looks like, touch the head with a couple first, then whip them down. And if you land one, then stick to the head for a little bit, let them get confident again, and then go back down and whip them. But again, as I said, it's all about disguising them and how you dress them up. When you know you're a body puncher, when someone knows you're a body puncher, they're going to just keep their elbows in tight, try and stay as tight as they can to the body. So stick to the head for a bit.
It was interesting just to watch Shabu Sanchez ask Almohammed a question there, and I couldn't hear what he said, but he gave him a one-word answer, and there was a little smile and a nod, and that just goes to show that he's listening to his team, which is important.
Yeah. Because he's throwing a lot of shots also, he might have been asking, you okay, you feeling the pace, you know, how is it? Because he's throwing a hell of a lot of shots here, Almohammed. Ooh, good right hand there from Besalduch.
It was, he loaded that one up, and that's given him some confidence. And it's down to Almohammed to put that fire out very, very quickly. Not that there was too much fire coming back afterwards, but you could see he was going in a forward motion.
Got to be careful, Almohammed, of throwing the body shots from a little bit too far out. He's throwing them from the centre of the ring. He's throwing them when it's at middle to long distance, and he's gonna have a lot more success if he throws them from middle to short distance.
I'm a big fan of that left hook to the body he throws.
Yeah,
Kind of throws that with variety as well, doesn't he? You hear that one sting.
See this bit now, Besalduch is engaging now, so touch the head first and then whip them down to the body.
Besalduch sneaks a right uppercut through the middle. And Almohammed finds himself on the back foot. He looks quite happy to be there as he pops the jab out. Just works out his next move.
He's just calling them on a little bit, Almohammed. That's a good shot. Good right hand there from Almohammed. There you go. Touch the head first, whips it round. Lovely shot.
That really was nice. Exactly as you said. That was what you've been asking him, or you've been asking for him to do for the last 90 seconds or so, and the previous round as well. And that's it. It was perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He couldn't have landed it any better, actually. And the eyes closed as that second left hook to the body came in from Almohammed. He knows he's got him there. He knows he can hurt him with that shot.
Still got to stay switched on here because Besalduch's game, he's still throwing back. There's still a bit of power in the shots. There's a lovely body shot and it's definitely hurt Besalduch, but you can see him still putting a bit of power in these shots himself.
Besalduch sneaks a screw shot through the middle there. And that was good, fast work, blistering hand speed there from Almohammed, and the referee has seen enough. And Besalduch finds himself on the canvas, looking at the bright lights above him, as Almohammed goes back and embraces his team. That was a nice combination to finish.
It was. When we were saying earlier on about going through the gears and having variety with your shots, whether it be your body shots or the head shots or your jab, there's also going through the gears as in just nice fast flurries, and sometimes they're what catches the referee's eye, they're what catches the opponent unaware. And that was a really, really good combination at the end there, just a nice fast burst, because the single shots, although a couple were getting through, he was missing with a lot of them, and Besalduch still had a very good defence. As I said, he still had a little bit more left there. But that was very impressive there from Almohammed. A very, very good stoppage.
I mean, the story of the fight for me was that Besalduch was struggling to beat him to the punch, but when he put his shots together, Almohammed, it was too fast for him. There was no way that he could defend himself.
This is quality. Two to the head. Soon he brings the elbow. There you go. Whip it right round. Perfect shot. Right on exactly where you would tell a fighter to throw them body shots, right round the shot. The Yanks call it the liver shot, the Americans, don't they? That was a perfect shot. And there's the flurry now. Just fast, 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 fast. One or two gets through. It looked a lot more dramatic than it was, but just a nice fast flurry to finish the job. Very, very impressed tonight.
Well, Besalduch gave it as good as he could, and he started off shrewd in the opening round and showed that he had a few tricks up his sleeve, but it didn't take too long before Almohammed really got to work and got into his groove. Oh. Thomas Schreiber is nearly ready to go, but also on the zone. Next Saturday, Roach versus Zapata. The boxing continues Two fighters who fight fire with fire. That one will be good viewing. We look forward to that very much indeed. Well, Thomas Treiber, he's ready for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes 41 seconds of round number 3. Our referee in charge, Koji Tanaka, waves off the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout. From Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Sultan El Nino Almohammed.
Well done to Sultan Almohammed. A fantastic display of boxing. Lots to look forward to. Big fan of those blistering hand speed. And this is the story of the fight. And it was those little touches upstairs, and then he digs into the body when he wants to. And as Paul Smith, who was alongside me for that one, was asking for the whole time, and the timing was great as well. And there's the left hook to the body, which he throws so unbelievably well. And when those punches come in bunches, he really can be problematic. Another good performance from Sultan Almohammed, who moves to 5-0 with 4 KOs on his record. And a reminder that he is just 18 years old. Well done to him.
Congratulations then to Sultan Almohammed, who moves 5-0 there, as Darren just said. Saudi style here on Prelims. And of course the action just keeps on coming as we build up to tonight's pay-per-view show, headlined by Anthony Joshua. Here's a little more on AJ's decision to switch training teams and join forces with former foe Oleksandr Usyk.
The last time we spoke in a professional capacity was maybe after Dubois.
Okay.
Since
in the ring?
In the ring.
Yeah.
Since then, you've changed training camps.
Yeah.
We see you with Usyk. There's
Yeah.
the jogging on the beach thing, which I loved. Everyone was talking about. It reminded them of Rocky and Apollo.
Yeah.
Why the switch to the Usyk camp?
So I wanted to get out of the UK, focus. It's a lot of pressure being at home.
Yeah.
I'm local. My phone number ain't changed. My local gym hasn't changed. There's great trainers in the UK, but for me it's still local. So going out there was really good. And secondly, he's the best in the world, isn't it? So let's go and see what he's doing, what barriers he's breaking down, what boundaries he's pushing. And if I can emulate that in training, I think the results will follow in the ring.
Has that unlocked something? Is that almost you being there and seeing how they do stuff? Has that almost allowed you to know there's still another 15, 20% you can do more?
I think, yeah, definitely training-wise. I learned that a lot, though, from different trainers, and I've taken a bit from all these trainers that I've been around, which has been good. I've been with so many good trainers, but definitely with these guys, hard work, smart work, but very, very hard work is important. One of my main issues was conditioning. Their conditioning is supreme, and we're not talking about just doing S&C and circuits in the gym for the sake of it. We're talking about boxing conditioning. I've been there for weeks on weeks sometimes. We don't even hit a pad. Sparring, bag work, shadow boxing, like rounds of technical, improving your focus, improving your boxing IQ. It's good, man. I've still got so much room to improve, get that focus that I need. I've been distracted along the way. I wanted to do a lot. I've got big ambitions in life, but I feel like I need to get back on that frequency where my ambitions are just aligned to boxing, not so many other things. And getting away from home has been one of those things that have been good for me.
Yeah, love that story with Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk. The preparation has all been done. All that is left now for AJ is to get in the ring here in Jeddah tonight and put on a show in the main event. And you'll need to stay tuned, of course, to the Zone for even more great boxing coming your way very soon. Errol Spence Jr. versus Tim Tszyu follows when we finish here, and there's so much great live action coming up on the global home of the sport. Next Saturday we have another double header. First we're in Dublin for Pierce O'Leary against Mark Chamberlain for the IBO Super Lightweight belt. Then it's destination Las Vegas for the WBC Lightweight title showdown between Laurent Moach Jr. and William Zapata. Meanwhile, on August the 8th, Saturday Fight Night is live from Leeds as Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson rematch for the British and Commonwealth Super Middleweight titles. And lots still to look forward to here on Prelims. The action rolls on tonight. Up next, mighty Mohamed Alakel is back in action. So let's send it back to the ring and to Thomas Tryman.
Let's first welcome to the ring from Malta, Lydon Chircop. And now let's welcome to the ring from Saudi Arabia, the undefeated mighty Mohamed Alakel.
And here is 22-year-old Saudi Arabian fighter, mighty Mohamed Alakel. He's a fighter who is arguably becoming the face of boxing here in Saudi Arabia. 8 fights as a pro so far, 2 of them won inside the distance. And a little raise in volume from the crowd, Paul.
Yeah, listen, I know a lot about being over here now. I manage a Saudi fighter, and what they say is you could have one of the biggest stars in boxing here, but they will always back their own. They want to see a fighter from the region, from the kingdom, doing well, and they will certainly get behind their own, and that's what they're doing with Mohamed Alakel.
Good to see, really good to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super featherweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season, and Sella in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Gold Star Promotions. The judges are Arkadiusz Malik, Marcin Pawlak, and Don Turan. Our referee in charge is Andrei Shevelov. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with pink and weighed in officially at 131.2 pounds. Coming to us from Gezira, Malta, he has a professional record of 8 wins, 4 defeats. 4 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lydon Chircop. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing teal-colored trunks and weighed in officially at 130.6 pounds. Hailing from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he is undefeated with 8 wins. 2 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is mighty Mohamed Alakel.
Okay, gentlemen, we have been orders in the dressing room. I don't want to see any rabbit punches. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves back to your corners. Good luck.
Well, this one, 6 3-minute rounds in the super featherweight division. Lydon Chircop of Malta in there against Mohamed Alakel. Chircop in the white and pink shorts, and Alakel in those teal with a very glittery diamond on the back. And he's getting straight to business on the front foot. And I think we're going to see a raise in tempo in this one pretty quick.
Yeah, Alakel very sharp and explosive. He loves throwing the left hook to the head and the body. He has a good jab as well, but he's got a lot of speed. You will be trying to find these openings. And as you said, we've seen Chircop before.
Alakel standing tall. Those long levers, lands the left hook, straight right hand, looks for the left hook, under the right elbow, the shot which arguably was the breaking point which finished our previous bout. Chircop's got to have his wits about him, because when Alakel starts to let his hands go, he is quite hard to keep up with in terms of the speed which those shots come at the opponents. And he's getting his experience now, Paul. Fight number 9 for him, moving on at a good tempo.
Yeah, he is. And again, the same old usual things, what he has to be aware of and be careful of, not loading up too much, not trying to impress too much too early on. You know, ease your way into it. Keep that speed, keep the jab, keep switched on.
Got clip there of a left hook, but he did land a nice straight right hand to the body beforehand.
That's what I mean. There's always little reminders here and there, you know. But again, in the defence, they're young, they're hungry, they're ambitious, they're on a huge stage, they want to impress, and you're always going to get fighters who are very eager to impress.
As you mentioned earlier on, we're going to raise the volume when Alakel's name was announced by Thomas Triber in the arena. The Saudis getting behind their own. You've got one of your own fighters on a little bit later on.
Yep, it's coming up soon. Ziyad Almaayouf. As I said, the Kingdom are going to do all they can to back their own fighters to eventually have their own world champions. They've been putting mega fights on them, and we as boxing fans and boxing people are all very grateful for these fights being made. I think we'll hopefully see some form of announcement of a big one later on tonight, fingers crossed. But they will want their own champions to come through behind, and they're building that infrastructure for it to happen. And Alakel is one of those fighters.
Nail on head. The foundations are well and truly being laid here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Alakel, most definitely another one of those as he lands another right hook to the body, looks for the left one. Good jab, keeping his man busy with it, just popping it out when necessary. We've seen that Chircop was just struggling to get his work done there, wasn't it? And I think that's just because Alakel was doing a great job of nullifying any attack which was coming his way.
Yeah, and it's very difficult for him with the height and the reach, obviously, of Alakel. You know, he's here as the opponent. He's against it already. You know, he's only got a few chances to win this fight. One of them would be to try and land a great shot when Alakel's attacking or coming in and switches off. That's why we keep stressing the importance of these young fighters not switching off, staying switched on. The heads have come close a couple of times in that round. He's got to be a little bit careful of that Alakel coming forward. But for Chircop, he's got to just try and stay tight, not get caught with nothing silly, and try, in my opinion, to counter a lot if Alakel makes mistakes.
And if you're just joining us, a very warm welcome along to the Jeddah Superdome. You're listening to the English language commentary with myself, Dan Rees, and Paul Smith. And a reminder that tonight's pay-per-view broadcast is available in multiple languages on DAZN, including Arabic, Latin American, Spanish and Polish. Check your local settings for details and options. We get straight underway in the second round of 6 in the super featherweight division.
You can see Alakel always reaching for that left hook to the body. Got to be careful not to reach a bit too much. Pop the jab out, back him up to the ropes first, and then unleash it. As I said, he's very sharp with the left hand. Lovely jabs there.
I think what Alakel does really nicely is he makes that jab not just effective, but it's annoying, isn't it? He sticks it in Chircop's face, and just that's a real big part of his tactics. He's frustrating the man in front of him, and I guess when he's frustrated, he's more likely to make some sort of mistake, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. You try and open him up. I keep saying that saying, you know, prize him open him up. It's an old saying Billy Graham used to use constantly. If someone wants to shut up shop and they just close up and tighten up, then it's hard to pry them open, you know, to climb up, and it's up to you to touch a few to the head to open the body up, or touch the body to open the head up, or make them make mistakes, as you just said, or get them frustrated so they unload. But it's difficult to do. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Nice combo from Alakel, right uppercut, lead hook, right hand down the middle. Chircop struggling to find the answers to the questions which Alakel is posing at present. Still a long time to go in this 6-round contest, especially when you don't feel like you're in control.
Alakel landed a couple of nice jabs there. He backed Chircop up to the ropes, and then he led with the left hook. If he throws something before that left hook, a straight right hand, a 1-2, then he's going to have a lot more success with the left hook. Chircop's seeing it coming now. He's able to defend or lean into the shot. Again, like we said in the previous fight, touch the head first. Let him get confident, touch the head first, and then whip it around the elbow.
Alakel just touching with the jab and then sinks the right hand in with a bit more venom.
Alakel's done the good work getting them to the ropes, but there's not really much action now he's there. You know, this is the chance to unload. This is where I feel he needs to start letting the shots go now.
Well, Emily Austin is with Zizo Almaayouf.
Backstage with the real Zizo. We're back on your home turf. Do you feel that it adds more pressure or more motivation for you?
To me, pressure is the motivation. So definitely motivation, and I use that pressure to channel it.
And to all your fans watching at home, what's your message to them?
Get ready for bout number 7, because I'm bout number 6 and mine is going to end quick.
6, 7. You know that trend, or is that not a thing in Saudi?
I don't. That's not a thing in Saudi.
Oh my God. So you know why? Because you're locked in. You're locked in. How has training camp been for you?
No, it was very good. 3 months in LA, Buddy McGirt, Russ Amber just wrapped my hands. You know, I'm back in Jeddah. This is where I made my pro debut. And now it's my 10th fight and I'm back here. Like you said, I'm locked in and I'm ready to go.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Good luck tonight.
Means a lot.
Well, Emily Austin may have just caused some aggro for Saudi Arabian parents starting the 6-7 trend here. But your man's confident, Paul.
Yeah, he is. He's very confident. And last time out, he was in Madison Square Garden. He's been on some unbelievable shows. As I said before, with all these young fighters coming through, they're getting unbelievable, amazing opportunities to be on some really big shows with top-class fighters on. And Zizo is taking it all in his stride. He's learning on the road, he's learning it the hard way, and he's doing it the hard way. And we just did, and then two months in LA, and we see that with these fighters. You know, Alakel, back to Alakel tonight. He's based in the States. He trains over there in the States as well. He's been with Abel Sanchez in the past. I know he's switched trainers now, but it's still based in the USA. They're doing it the hard way. They're getting on the road, and they're putting the work in, and hopefully they'll all get the results.
How important is it, Paul, for these fighters to be going to places like the States for simple things like sparring, I guess?
It helped me a lot when I was fighting. I know it helped my brothers. We've all done it. We've all been over in the States training, and it's just different over there. You know, we're here in the Holy Land where Mecca is, but people call, you know, the United States the Mecca of boxing, Madison Square Garden the Mecca of boxing. It's the place to go. It's where the best fighters usually are. In the heavyweight division, it's not the case, but in most of the other divisions, the best fighters in the world are all from the States. So get over there, see how they do it, see how the best do it. You can see it now in Alakel's performance, you know, the way he's fighting, he's letting his hands go. He's obviously been there.
Well, the shot which set up a little bit of a wobble for Chircop was a left hook to the body, and then that left hook over the top landed it very well. But Chircop looks to have found his feet again. For Alakel, controlling the fight and controlling the distance off that jab over and over again, just popping it out. And it is that jab which is setting the pace here.
As you said before, it's so difficult to open someone up like Alakel and try and find a very good scoring shot when you're built like Chircop. You're disadvantaged with height, with reach. The footwork is better than yours. Anytime he lunges in and tries to catch Alakel will push out of range and just take that little 6-inch step out of range to nullify the attack. And it can be very, very disheartening, especially when you're being caught back with short, sharp, fast shots, which is what Alakel is landing, as well as that jab, which you pointed out earlier.
Well, there's some enthusiasm coming from the Chircop corner, shouting for him to keep going because he had a little bit of success there. And it's all well and good coming from the corner, but as you said, Paul, he's just struggling to find the gaps because he is at such a disadvantage in so many different areas.
Yeah, for Alakel, he's doing good work back in Chircop up and getting him to the ropes, but when he's there, he's not doing enough. I'd like to see the 1-2 from Alakel. I haven't seen that much at all tonight, and I think it would work for him. I think it would be a good shot.
But he looks confident and happy as he walks back to the corner. What would you be saying to him, Paul, if you were in that corner?
I think exactly what I've just said, to be honest with you. You know, not to sound like too critical, but you're doing really good work backing him up to the ropes, and when you get there, you're not really doing much. And that's where you want him. You want him on the ropes because you want him to straighten his feet up, be off balance, tuck up, and then you can start to prise him open, touch the head, touch the body, or just let your fast flurries go. But when he's getting in there, he's just not doing much, and then he's allowing Chircop to come off the ropes and then back to the centre, and it's back to the draw board start again. So when you get him backed up, do the work. You've done all the good work getting there, you know, so then when you get there, let the shots go.
But this is the 7th 6-rounder which Alakel has boxed in. He has done a 10-rounder before, so we know he can go the distance and still have the energy about him to box well and get through successfully. And as you said at the beginning of this bout, Paul, he did spend some time with Joe Gallagher as well, actually, and
good shot.
He got caught there, didn't he? But I think he's saying that's a low blow more than anything. Did it look like a low blow to you?
I may be wrong, but it looked like a good shot. It's short and a little bit high. It looked okay to me, but the referee's ruled it as low, so we've got the added luxury of seeing the replay at the end of the round. We'll have a look at it, but probably by his reaction it looks a little low, but we'll see. I think it looked okay.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to see that, but
you know where Alakel's going now, don't you?
Here it comes. It's almost like you need a countdown for it. Oh, he's going upstairs, but then...
I like that, though. As I've been saying, touch the head first.
That ruined our commentary line, didn't it?
Yeah, get a bit confident and then whip them round to the body. It's such a fine line, though, especially big waistband like Chircop's got on. It's such a fine line when you land a low shot because you are paranoid of going back to the body just in case it drifts a little low. The ref's going to be all over you then with a point deduction or worse.
Yeah, you never know how lenient a referee will be or what they will see. So he probably did the right thing there. And there's a right hand to the body. Chircop finds himself on the ropes for far too long for my liking.
Even Alakel's short at the moment. Both of them, I think the waistband looks okay to me. I'll have to see the front of Chircop when he turns around to where we're sitting. But Alakel's probably the top of the waistband would be good for me. And I think Chircop's have been a little bit high anyway. Yeah, that was a good body shot.
That left hook was exactly what it's all about. Alakel saw the right arm come up ever so slightly. He didn't take any time at all to sink it in. And he could get the job done here. 1 minute and 15 to go. It's a long time when you've just been dropped to the canvas. And the man from Malta looking to the referee saying that one was low as well. I don't know about you, Paul, but I disagree with him.
No, and the fact that he went off that body shot tells me the first one was probably okay. If not, you know, very, very borderline at the very, very worst. So he knows he can hurt him now, Alakel, and now's time to hopefully have fun. Stay tight, be wary of what's coming back, but look good now, look professional.
Alakel, as things stand, look like he may well be able to get the 3rd stoppage of his professional career. You can smell it coming. 30 seconds to go. Can Chircop just about hear the sound of the bell? I think Alakel's let him off the hook a little bit.
I'm okay with this for now because he knows as soon as he touches there, he's going to get him. He knows. Touch the head again. Give him a little bit of confidence and then whip it round.
There it is. Left hook to the body. Chircop took that one in a bit of a better fashion. But Alakel, he could have just jumped on in there. He could have smothered his work, but you're a fan of what you just saw.
Yeah, see, again, that's another thing I was guilty of and a lot of other fighters will be guilty of. When you have someone hurt, the killer instinct kicks in and you jump all over them, and before you know it, you're smothering your work, you're missing with shots, which we've seen a couple of times tonight. I think this is the first one No, it's a lovely shot. Well, that's the knockdown. Great shot. Really nice shot under the elbow, coming up high. And he was obviously still feeling the first body shot which landed. And that's that left hook that he was leading off with, what I suggested that he didn't lead off with and put a jab there first, so what do I know?
There is Rick Reno, the CEO of the Ring magazine, looking ever so stylish, as always. He's become quite a hit on the internet, actually. People asking, who's that guy? They don't say it when you're ringside, do they, Paul, eh?
No, they had the.
You get yourself a shiny gold shirt, mate.
Good right hand there from Alakel. There we go.
And that is exactly what you said at the end of the previous round, Paul Smith, because you were happy for him to wait, tap upstairs, then find the shot, and that's exactly the way that he started this round.
Yeah, and now he's got all the time in the world to find this shot again, but we probably will see him jump on him.
Timing is everything. Alakel, he's boxing in a patient fashion, but doing the right thing.
He's landing to the head more now as well. He's having a lot more success to the head because obviously Chircop's expecting the body, so his arms are lower. And he's not as switched on to the headshots that are coming his way. There we go.
Chircop waiting for that shot to the body now, isn't he? He looks to his corner as he just tries to suck air.
The corner should be Tallon now, or the referee should be waving this off.
It looks like the referee will allow him to continue.
I didn't see the point there, to be honest with you. I didn't see the point in letting that go on. The towel should be coming in soon.
Half the round to go. And he's damaged to that right-hand side now. Alakel knows it. And surely we won't see the rest of this round or the sixth. There's nothing coming back from...
and there's no sign of the corner getting the towel up either, to be fair. So I think the ref needs to save Chircop here for another day. There's literally no point in this carrying on. There we go.
And the referee does call it off in the fifth round with 56 seconds to go on the clock. In our opinion, ringside, it should have been sooner. And a nice little celebration to finish off. Did you do a backflip in your days?
Not a chance. There's absolutely no chance of me doing that. Good performance, and we're seeing more and more of Alakel now going through the gears, and his opponents will step up as he goes along, obviously, and the rounds, well, you mentioned he's had the 10-rounder before, but maybe step it up now to 8 and keep him on 8 for a little bit and then get him up to 10s, but it's a race now between these Saudi fighters on who can be the first to try and get a title.
But I said in the intro that Mohamed Alakel is arguably becoming the face of boxing here in Saudi Arabia. And I think you're right. I think there will be a little bit of a race. But that was a good performance. Fantastic body work, great body punching. And you could see the agony in the face of Lydon, Chircop, as each and every one of those landed straight under the right elbow. Perfect positioning and the perfect result. And there's the backflip.
Yeah, I've never had that in my locker. What about you?
No, I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to do it, Paul. Maybe my time will come. But good to see Alakel go over to the corner of Lydon, Chircop. A big smile was on the face of the man from Malta now. But he'll remember this bout. He most certainly will. Well, Thomas Triber is in the centre of the ring and he has got the official time. So let's hear from him.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 2 minutes, 2 seconds of round number 5. Our referee, Andrei Shevelov, waves off the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout, still undefeated. And from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, mighty Mohamed Alakel.
Well, Mohamed Alakel officially gets it and moves to 9-0 with 3 KOs. And he is representing the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in a very good way. We look forward to the future with him. And a huge one coming your way on the zone. The final piece in the puzzle. PBC joins the zone August 22nd, and we kick off in Las Vegas. Rolly Romero versus Teofimo Lopez for the WBA World Welterweight title. The boxing just doesn't stop. Great fights after great fights. And Jamie is ready with the winner.
Thank you, Darren. Well, Mohamed Alakel, congratulations. A mighty performance, a mighty celebration as well that followed it here in Saudi once again. What did you make of your performance here tonight?
Yeah, I wanted to finish him earlier, but it is what it is. It's my first camp with Ray. Appreciate him for helping me out, and I appreciate everyone for coming out, all my fans. My friends, not fans.
Had him hurt plenty of times to the body. Ultimately, it was the body shots that finished the fight. But you showed a lot of patience and measure in there, despite only being 22 years of age. What do you think's enabling you just to take your time in here?
I mean, he was very durable. He's very tough. You know, I watched film on him, and he didn't go out early. But yeah, I took my time and I got the job done. Alhamdulillah.
And when people are talking about you as being an ex-face of boxing here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, there's obviously pressure that comes with that. But you've been so calm and cool and collected all week. How do you deal with that pressure and the way people are speaking about you?
I mean, to have this type of pressure, I feel like it's a privilege. So yeah, I want to thank His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh for believing in me and allowing me to perform in these big stages. So yeah, يعطيكم العافية.
And what is the ultimate dream for you? They just said on commentary there that they're building a real solid foundation of a lot of up-and-coming talent here in Saudi, but what's the dream for you?
World champion.
And I believe we're going to see another celebration. Was there another celebration, another backflip we were going to see?
Sorry?
I thought you were going to backflip again. I thought that's what you were saying over there.
No, one time.
One time. And when can we see you back in, actually? You've been nice and active, obviously a new team now, but when can we expect to see you back in the ring?
As soon as possible. I want to stay active this year, so yeah.
Ray, final one from you. Is that pretty much exactly as was planned from Mohamed tonight?
Yes, we would have liked to get him out there a little earlier, but you know, everything don't always go as planned, but we stayed patient and we got the job done at the end of the day. This is our first camp together, so you know, we still building and learning each other, and he's going to be the first world champion from Saudi Arabia. That's the ultimate goal.
Great stuff, guys. Congratulations to all of you. Mohamed Alakel, congratulations. Well done. Back to you guys.
So, Mohamed Alakel there. He's a man of a few words. He certainly lets the boxing do the talking. And he wasn't going to do another backflip for us, so we will most certainly have to wait for his next fight before we see another backflip. But good work for him. Let's see how he got it done, shall we? But it was that jab, as me and Paul Smith were saying, that he was irritating for Chircop. He was just in his face constantly, and everything came off of the jab over and over again. But the defensive work was good there, because you could see when the left hook came back, the right hand was in the right place at the right time, but it was those left hooks to the body over and over again. And the facial expressions of Chircop told you everything which you needed to know. And I think sometimes brave fighters need a little bit of saving, and there is that backflip which I can see becoming a bit famous when it comes to Mohamed Alakel. But later tonight, Anthony Joshua returns to the ring with a very clear plan in place. Kristian Prenga, Tyson Fury and beyond.
How long did you go for, an hour or so?
hour and a half. When you see me on Tony Pitt, you're gonna be like, I know why now.
Coming for a ball, man. Something extraordinary happens in your life and it shifts your whole perspective. And that doesn't take conditioning, that's just one moment. Something can happen. An event in someone's life can change their whole trajectory. So some people need conditioning, definitely. And that's the thing, everyone's running their own race, but you don't need to always condition. Some people just have that shock and their whole existence, their whole relation to life changes, man.
Boxing saved his life on more than one occasion because it turned a corner for him as a young man, and I believe through this boxing saved him. I think that it takes you a long time in life to find and understand your purpose, and I think what AJ has realised is that his purpose and his why is boxing.
I think once Prenga feels the power, he could possibly be going back to kickboxing.
You can never 100% guarantee which way it's going to go. For Prenga, this is everything.
It puts him onto a different stratosphere in terms of recognition and who he is as a boxer.
With what Josh is capable of and the fluidity he's capable of at that, he can possibly be the best heavyweight in the world again.
It doesn't matter about your record, it doesn't matter about your history, it's about on the night. And that's where, for me, I've got to be fully focused and know that no matter how good they are, I'm fully locked in.
You only really know when you make that walk. And you walk out on that stage in front of the world to fight another man in a square by 20 by 20. That's when you find out. One punch in this division can change everything. So you've got to be switched on and you've got to make sure he gets it before you get it. And that's the aim of heavyweight boxing.
Yes, well, all the talk of Tyson Fury and beyond, well and truly on hold. Victory for AJ tonight is all that matters. And if you sign up to the Zone Ultimate, you can bundle tonight's event plus all our pay-per-view and regular subscription shows into one for one great price. And of course, the schedule is packed with big fights, starting tomorrow with Errol Spence Jr. versus Tim Tszyu from Australia, August the 29th. Watch Moses Atauma face his toughest test to date in the shape of Croatian Filip Hrgovic, and September the 12th, a must-watch battle in Las Vegas. The build-up has already been sensational. What's the fight going to be like in comparison between WBC welterweight world champion Ryan Garcia and the destroyer Conor Benn? It's undisputed value for every fight fan. And of course, the return to the ring for Anthony Joshua later tonight. Also a return to action this weekend for Errol Spence Jr. Our colleagues at Foxtel are on the ground down under to give us the latest.
Yeah, thanks guys. We're here for one of the biggest fights in Australian boxing history, and the superstars are out in force. We've got a couple of them joining me now in Sean Porter and Danny Green. Gentlemen, just one sleep to go until Tim Tszyu and Errol Spence Jr. collide. We've been debating all week what we're going to see from these two men. We've had one final look at them up on the scales today. We've had one final word from them. What is your gut feeling on how this plays out?
My gut feeling is that this is a battle that goes toe-to-toe. My gut feeling is this is a battle that does not go the distance, and it remains to be seen who's going to be standing.
What do you think, Danny? And is this make or break for Tim? If he doesn't win tomorrow, is it time to start reconsidering his future?
The exciting thing about this is that if that is what he's thinking and everyone's saying and thinking, it makes it even more exciting. Because like, people go, wow, this might be the last time we see him fight. So, but I still think that Tim Tszyu is going to be victorious, that inactivity and the aggression that, like, Tim's got to jump in him. When I fought Roy Jones Jr., and Roy was, well, we knew what Roy was going to do because he was active. He just destroyed Jeff Lacey 3 months before. So kind of knew what we're playing with. We're playing with a wild beast that I had to tame immediately. So I threw it on him straight away. I think Tim's got to do that. And if he can do that, he just may shock Errol Spence Jr. and walk away with an early victory.
Can't wait, boys. See you both then. We'll be live from Sydney as soon as you're finished in Jeddah. Back to you.
Yeah, absolutely flying, aren't we, on the global home of the sport. DAZN. Lots to look forward to in Sydney and lots still to look forward to here in Saudi. Standing by, once again, Thomas Treiber.
Let's now welcome to the ring from Venezuela, Orlando El Torbo Pino.
Orlando Pino from Caracas, Venezuela, is wasting no time to get himself into that boxing ring. He comes to the ring full of confidence and off the back of 2 knockout wins in his 2 previous bouts. Clearly he has some heavy hands, as 11 of his 17 wins have come inside the distance and 8 of those have come in the first 2 rounds. So his opponent, who will be announced to the ring shortly, will most certainly have to have his wits about him. And I'm now joined by Paddy Donovan ringside. Paul Smith has gone off to do trainer-manager duties. Paddy, welcome to ringside.
Thank you, Darren. I'm delighted to be here. Looking forward to the night. The Irish is in town, and looking forward to the next special night of boxing.
And now let's welcome to the ring from England, the undefeated Mikie, the Omid Tallon.
And here he is, 21-year-old Scouser, Mikie Tallon, born and based in Liverpool, goes by the nickname of the Omen. A very serious, dark walk to the ring this. His career changed when a single social media post came up from His Excellency, who liked Mikie Tallon, and off the back of that, he's had opportunities and taken them with both hands. And what we've seen from him so far has been magnificent. He said he doesn't want to get round in against journeyman. He wants proper opponents, so we're going to test him. And I think he's got one of those this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the flyweight division. It's being brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season, and Sella in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Gold Star Promotions. The judges are Nawaf Almohammed, Arkadayush Malik, and Marcin Pavlak. Our referee in charge is Koji Tanaka. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing blue, red, and yellow and weighed in officially at 112.8 pounds. Coming to us from Miranda, Petare, Venezuela, he brings a professional record of 17 wins, 3 defeats. 11 of his 17 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Orlando El Torbo Pino. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing gold, red, and blue and weighed in officially at 113.6 pounds. Hailing from Liverpool, England, and representing Gallagher's Gym, he had a stellar amateur career, becoming a 4-time national champion, and now as a professional. Undefeated, 14 wins, 3 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mikie, the Omid Tallon.
Okay, obey my command at any time. Okay, or I say stop, you stop. I say break, you break. Okay? Or watch your head, or low blow, right punch. Okay, let's go.
Well, fight number 15 for Mikie Tallon, and his coach Joe Gallagher told him you get 20 to learn and 20 to earn. We are still in the learning phase, and once again he'll be looking to put on some show on a big card here in Saudi Arabia. Orlando Pino in the blue, red and yellow, and Mikie Tallon in the yellow and red. You're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and Paddy Donovan from ringside. And for anyone who hasn't seen Tallon before, he boxes at a fast pace, and he is a solid body puncher as well.
Yeah, he looks good so far. Good discipline, good footwork, and his punch selection has been brilliant so far. I'm looking forward to seeing Mike. He's trained by one of the best coaches in boxing, and he's managed by Natasha Jonas, so he's in good hands. Let's see where his career goes.
He said that he used to do his runs going past the Echo Arena in Liverpool, when he would run past it and dream that one day he may box in there. And it was on a Natasha Jonas card which that happened for him, when she boxed Michaela Mayer a few years back, but he got that opportunity. He visualises these things and they do come to fruition. And as I said in the ring walk for him, he's made it really clear he does not want to bank rounds against journeymen. In his words, he wants proper opponents who are going to bring it to him. But at the moment,
oh, what a shot! What a shot!
To the body, and Tallon landed a left hook, which has sent Pino into no man's land when it comes to agony.
Wow.
I don't think he's going to get up here.
Amazing.
He was trying to suck air for a very thin straw, and that was a beautiful shot, wasn't it, Paddy?
Absolutely brilliant. He's one of them old-time fighters, keeps his shape well, good punching, and them body shots is devastating, as we've seen. The future's bright for this kid.
But that didn't last very long at all, and Mikie keen to make sure that Orlando Pino is all right. For those types of body shots, you can just see how much they hurt. And there was no way that he was going to be able to continue there. Not a chance. Brutal. A brutal finish. And a finish done and dusted in the opening round. And understandably, Paddy, a big smile on his face.
Yeah, listen, he's off to a flyer. As I said, he's got the right guy behind him in Joe Gallagher. He's in one of the best boxing gyms in the world. And the sky's the limit for this kid. He seems to have everything. Body punching, the variations of shots, the control of the ring, and I'm looking forward to this guy's career.
We said a little bit earlier on that his career really came to life when His Excellency liked what he saw and gave him the opportunities, and all of a sudden he was on some mega cards. But he's been given the opportunities, he's been given the questions, and he is finding the answers. Well, Thomas Schreiber is in the ring and has the official time. We'll just wait for the referee to get back to the centre. And we're just making sure that Orlando Pino is okay before we go to the decision. But what a shot. What a shot. Well, this one coming up September 12th. Conor Benn versus Ryan Garcia. They had a lot to say to each other the other day. Will the fight live up to expectation? I think it's going to be fiery all round on the build-up and for as long as it may last. And over to Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 31 seconds of round number 1. Our referee in charge, Koji Tanaka, reaches the count of 10. Therefore, your winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Mikie the Omen Tallon.
But he walks to the ring in a very sinister fashion. There wasn't necessarily any height when it came to that ring walk, and then he boxed in exactly the same way as that ring entrance was. Just talk us through that shot, Paddy.
It's just one of his favourite shots. You know, he's practiced it a lot of times, over and over again, repeatedly. I think that's his best punch, is that left hook to the body. And he's demonstrated it absolutely perfectly, set it up lovely, brought it up to the head, and then brought it downstairs. Textbook stuff, and looking forward to what's next for him.
It absolutely was textbook stuff. Kids watching boxing, just getting into it, that is exactly how you throw it. And a big smile to follow. But he joins Jamie now.
Well, Mikie Tallon. Mikie, congratulations. What a performance in the eyes of your team, Joe Gallagher and yourself. This was seen as a real solid step up tonight. Did you honestly anticipate that to go a bit longer than it did?
Yeah, 100%. As I say, I thought I might have got him out there with a body shot, but rounds 5 or 6. But as I say, you're not getting enough from them.
Talk us through the finish. That was an absolute peach. Is that one of the best shots of your career so far?
Yeah, definitely. We've just been practicing in the changing rooms then, just little tap and find that little spot. And as I say, he spat the gum shield out straight away. I knew we weren't getting up.
15, I know now, still only 21 years of age, Mikie. So much still left to write in the Mikie Tallon story. You're only just getting started, but occasions like this, experiences like this, you must be enjoying every moment.
Yeah, it's boss. I can't thank His Excellency enough for giving me another massive opportunity and hopefully many more to come. But yeah, I just appreciate the whole team.
And in terms of the dream for you, asking all the young fighters, look, this is a big occasion for them, but as I say, still only getting started. What's the dream for you, particularly back home in Liverpool? I'm assuming it's to be the face one day.
Yeah, that's it. Hopefully just keep active and keep getting more fights. As I said, I'm only 21. I'm in no rush for titles at the minute. I just need to keep active and keep fighting and keep stepping up with opponents like that.
And I just want to ask you, because I'm sure now as the fan you'll take your seat ringside and enjoy the rest of the action. Anthony Joshua back in the ring tonight, and it seems all going well for AJ, of course. Big fight in hand, first of all, with Prenga. But we're hearing Tyson Fury's going to be here ringside. Just as a British fight fan, how excited are you for that potential fight?
It's amazing to get two of the best heavyweights of my generation fighting together, and don't know where it is at the minute, obviously it hasn't been said, but hopefully I would like it to be ending in the UK.
And a word on this man, we'll see if we can bring in Joe Gallagher for a quick word. Joe, look, you talked in the build-up, you said that this is a real solid step up. I'll ask you the same question. Did Mikie surprise you a little bit with how quickly and how emphatically he just beat Pino here tonight?
He did, yeah. I always thought this would be like a 6-7 round, although it was a scheduled 8 rounder, but there's an opportunity. I do feel he's one of the red hot prospects in world boxing at the moment. He's only 21 years of age, and that kid was no mug. 17-3, 11 knockouts. But listen, I think we've got something special with this kid. I need to thank His Excellency Turk Al-Sheikh, Ring Magazine, Seller, Riyadh Season for putting on another big show again. And I do feel not getting too big of ourselves. There's still work to be done, and everyone's talking about titles, but there's another year of seasoning yet before we let them off the leash.
Great stuff, Joe. And final word to you, Mikie, to everyone watching at home, live on the Zone, your friends and family back in Liverpool. What do you want to say to them?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully many more to come.
Mikie Tallon, congratulations. What a performance, certainly one to keep an eye on for the future. Back to you guys.
Well, Mikie Tallon there with trainer Joe Gallagher. It was all over and done with in a round, and it was that body work which we've seen before. There it is. It was a brutal left hook to the body. It really was. And in ways, he's no way of defending those types of shots. And understandably, Pino was in utter agony. And we've seen fighters get folded with that exact shot over and over again. And Tallon knows exactly how to throw it. And you can see the celebrations there with him and Joe Gallagher. Clearly very happy. The work which they've been putting in, both in the gym and backstage, is exactly what came to fruition. Anthony Joshua enters the ring tonight, knowing victory sets up his showdown with Tyson Fury later this year. The final hurdle to be cleared tonight, which then clears the way for the fight which we've been waiting for a long time. The biggest of the biggest.
I say we as boxing fans, people in the broadcasting industry, we look at what after Prenga.
Yeah, I do as well.
We look at Fury. Do you do that, yeah?
Yeah, I'm mature now. I do know you have to focus on Prenga, but you can't dangle such a big carrot in front of me and expect me to close my eyes and not see it, or open my eyes and not see it. So I see it. I'm well aware of what's in front of me, and it makes me want to win this fight even more.
You know that incident at McMurdo fight where Fury's asking you to get in the ring and you're like, no, I'm your landlord, I ain't getting in the ring.
Yeah.
That must have been, for us, one of the first times we've seen you guys interact.
Not on the internet.
Not on the internet.
Face to face.
Face to face.
Yeah.
How tempting was it for you to get in the ring? Was there any part of you that wanted to go nose to nose in the ring?
No, because the contracts weren't signed. I've been in that position before where I've signed contracts with Fury, so I didn't play into the games. I'm not there for games, I'm there for... Like, if the contract was signed, I would have got in the ring. I was there on a scouting mission. I want to see what my future opponents are going to look like. I have to take time out to go and analyse my opponents. I saw a lot. I saw some good. I saw some vulnerabilities in there. And then when he asked me to get in the ring, it's a Tyson Fury show. Why am I going to get in the ring at a Tyson Fury show? If he wants to come in the ring when I win, July 25th, feel welcome. Come into my territory. I'm the landlord. I'm going to welcome you into my home. You don't welcome me into your home. I buy your home. You know what I'm saying? Hey, so if he wants, come to Jeddah and we can get face to face because the contracts are signed. And I need to get through Prenga, which I'm going to, and I'm going to relish in that Tyson Fury fight.
Yep, cannot wait for tonight's main event. So good to see the return of Anthony Joshua here later on this evening on DAZN, and great also to be joined by the CEO of Matchroom, Mr. Frank Smith. Frank, a quick question on AJ. Look, you've worked with him for so many years, but also a very good friend of yourself, a very good friend of Eddie Hearn as well. What's the overarching emotion for you, do you think, when you see him making that ring walk here tonight?
Yeah, look, it's just great to see him back in the ring. You know, we've worked with him for over 13 years now, and to see what he's done in the sport in that time, and to see him still going and continuing to strive and go for his dreams. It's just great to see him. He's a lovely guy. People who get to meet him love him. Everyone loves him because of the person he is. So to see him doing what he loves in boxing, you know, you can't be happier.
What type of performance are you expecting from him tonight? Look, obviously we know about the plan, we know what's next. We keep hearing Tyson Fury's going to be here later on tonight, but he's locked in on Kristian Prenga, who has been saying all the right things as you'd expect, but what do you expect from AJ here?
I think you're going to see a devastating knockout from Anthony Joshua. That's what he does, and he looks in unbelievable shape. He's obviously got, you know, Serg and the Usyk team behind him. He's got Usyk's support as well. I've just seen him walk in now, and I think he's got a lot of confidence. He knows he's going to go in there and deliver a big performance. He's been on this stage so many times, hasn't he? You know, he's been here so many times, and this is really the last dance, if that makes sense, in the period. Whether this period lasts a year, 2 years, I can't say that right now. But he knows he's got to go in there and give it his all.
How pleased are you that we are so close to finally seeing the fight that British fight fans have been talking about for so long now?
Yeah, I mean, it's nearly here. It's nearly here. How many times had you just heard before on the promo, they're saying, you know, the last hiccup is tonight. But we believe Anthony Joshua comes through it, unbelievable performance, and then it's the fight everyone wants to see. It's a fight that's been years in the making. There's been a lot of talk, but we could finally see it next.
You think we'll see Tyson Fury ringside here tonight?
You know better than me. You keep
well,
spoiling
I'm
it.
hearing
Keep
yes.
saying he's here. I mean, I haven't seen him just yet. He's the kind of, he's retired 7 times and come back 8, so would I be surprised to see him here tonight? No. Do I know if he's coming? No. Let's wait and see. It's a bit like when Eubank Senior turned up.
That was epic. He's here. Well, maybe we'll get another one of those moments from Adam Smith.
Exactly.
Who knows? He's primed and ready, I think. I've heard him backstage.
How nice is it to have a surprise, though? Why do we want to ruin everything? Let's just wait and see.
Exactly. Also going to be ringside tonight, the great Oleksandr Usyk. What do you like about stories like this in boxing? Obviously, they've fought twice, former foes, but now working together is wonderful to see.
Yeah, for sure. You've got two men who respect each other. You know, when you look back at the build-up to those two fights, two greats, Oleksandr Usyk, to see what he has done in the sport, it's been unbelievable, undisputed at cruiserweight, heavyweight, but two people who always respected each other in the build-up to their fights. There was no bad blood, there was no hate, it was just two great athletes, and that's why the relationship is the way it is now. And in Usyk, you've got someone who wants to see Anthony succeed.
I want to ask you about your man, Josh Kelly, as well. Massive fight in his career. What a performance it was. We were there in the ring with him when he beat Makram Murtazaliev back in January. Again, Kevin Ajarko saying all the right things. We know exactly what this means to him, but in terms of the roadmap for Josh Kelly, it's a question we don't really speak to the fighters about in Fight Week, of course, but it's one for yourself and Eddie. I asked Eddie the other day, if I was to really put it on you, watch Josh Kelly's next fight all going well, and he said Boots Ennis. What do you see?
Yeah, look, we'd love to make the Boots fight. You know, in the Josh Kelly story, it's amazing to see. We worked with him, you know, many years ago, probably 10 years ago now, we started working with him initially. He went through the tough times early in his career, so to see him become world champion that night, you saw the emotion in the ring. That's because it's great to see people like that come back from those tough times and succeed. And I think a lot of the pressure's off for him now, because he went and become a world champion, something that many people said he couldn't do. He went and did it. It's a great fight against Ziyad tonight, but that Boots fight is a massive fight. And I could definitely see, you know, I've been speaking to Adam Booth today, it's a fight they want. They're not looking past tonight. They know that Ziyad is going to bring a test. Of course he is. It's a very, very, very good fight. But the Boots fight is a special fight, so it'd be great to see that happen next.
I'm assuming that will be stateside. You couldn't bring Jerome Boots Ennis to a rainy night in Sunderland, or could you?
No, not a rainy night in Sunderland in November, unfortunately. I don't think he's up for that. But look, wherever it is, we've seen the nights that Boots has created. That fight against Xander Zayas, you know, at the Barclays Centre, spectacular atmosphere. And, you know, Boots has got a big following, and it will be a massive fight if we can make it happen.
In terms of Khyzhniak and Jarko as well, like I said, look, this means so much to him. Josh Kelly was in a similar position back in January. What are the big dangers in this fight for Josh, do you think? Khyzhniak's someone you know well.
Yeah, look, Khyzhniak's a great fighter. And also, I've seen people say he was going in to fight for a final eliminator against Brandon Adams for this title. It wasn't up to him that Brandon Adams pulled out at the last minute. I think it was back in April that fight was supposed to happen. This is a fight he called for. To be fair, both men, Josh wanted this fight against Khyzhniak, the name he mentioned, and for Khyzhniak, it was a fight that he wanted. You know, you don't always see that in boxing, as we know. It's not always people calling each other out. Sometimes people standoffish. But Khyzhniak wanted this fight, and you know, he believes he can go in there and win, and it's going to be a great fight.
And in the super middleweight division as well, Hamza Shiraz also in action later on tonight. Relevance, of course, for yourself. You got a man in Diego Pacheco just last weekend, victorious once again. Eddie was talking about a big fight in America with Jaime Munguia, but perhaps that Shiraz fight is one that's been spoken about too.
Yeah, for sure. You know, great performance by Diego Pacheco. It's great to see Hamza Shiraz staying active. He won the belt, obviously, in Egypt on that special night in front of the pyramids. So activity is key for him. Diego Pacheco's a massive fight. You know, that fight was obviously ordered before. Diego wasn't in a position with his training team. He didn't have a team at that time. He's just changed trainer. You saw a great performance, as we say, in LA a few weeks back. So that's a brilliant fight. It's a great time in the super middleweight division. You know, you've got Canelo fighting and Billy, I think October 31st.
Yes, pushed back to Halloween, yeah.
Mentioned the other day. So Diego's in a great position to set himself up for those big fights. I actually could see that fight down the line. Diego Pacheco against Canelo Alvarez.
So much to look forward to in that super middleweight division. Hamza Shiraz as a face of British boxing though, back in action after 9 weeks of becoming world champion. Although you don't work necessarily directly with him, what is there to admire about a future potential star?
Look, he's a great fighter. I think you've seen great improvements, especially working with Andy Lee, as we've seen with Ben Whittaker as well. You know, Andy Lee, one of the best trainers in the sport right now. And yeah, Hamza's a great guy, great character. We don't promote him, we don't work with him directly, but having got to know him, I really like him, and I wish him all the best in his career. He's got a lot to look forward to.
I'll ask you this question, because Eddie will say, yeah, we can do it, no problem, but then he'll probably come off camera and say, Frank, can we actually do that? You're the numbers man, you make things happen behind the scenes. When you signed Nishant Dev, of course, Indian Olympian, Eddie said it was a game changer. He's got massive plans and dreams to fight in India one day. On the global home of the sport, DAZN, is that something you feel you can deliver for him?
Yeah, for sure. Like when you see his numbers, the numbers he generates around his fights, he can become a huge star. I think in his last performance, you saw an improvement from him. He'd had probably some lackluster performances prior to that. I think tonight he's got to turn up, he's got to perform. But we're actually looking at trying to do something in India later this year, around November, December time. So if we can get that off the ground, it would be brilliant.
Of course, he's been in action so far through his 6 fights across America, in Ghana as well. What was the thinking about getting him involved in this type of show?
You know, for every fighter we promote, that's what we want to do. We want to deliver international opportunities, build the exposure for them all around the world, and also get them prepared as they get into those big nights. So they've seen other ways of working, other places to go, other commissions. You know, so for Nishant Dev, he's been on a great journey. His night in Ghana, that was spectacular. And yeah, we're here now, and hopefully, like I say, India at the end of the year.
I just want to ask you elsewhere about the Matchroom schedule. Of course, just recently announced in the last week or so, the back half of the year and how things are going to look. A few rescheduled fights, but going to be nice and busy.
Yeah, always keeping you very busy.
Yep,
you know, we've got to keep you busy. You're on a lot of money now, so we've got to keep you very busy. Yeah, it's a great run. Now, obviously, George Lydon fights for the European title August 22nd at York Hall. Great to see him going for another title there. I think a brilliant fight in John Hedges against Pat Brown on September 19th at the Co-op. That's going to be sensational. Undercard announced next week for that as well. Ben Whittaker steps up against Conor Wallace for the IBF final eliminator. He's been on a tremendous run. This will be 4 fights in 11 months for him. And then we obviously announced the rescheduled date of Dalton Smith against Alberto Puello, WBC world title. What a way to, defend after winning that belt in the fashion he did in New York back in January. Excited to see Dalton back out and set up a huge next year of unifications for him, and much more to come as well. You're not going to get too much time off.
When you're looking at, I don't want time off, I'm a grafter, but when you're looking at fighters to sign, you and Eddie both say the same thing these days. It's not necessarily always just about what you can do in the ring. It's about having that full commercial product. A quick question on Ben Whittaker, because in terms of boxes that he ticks, he probably ticks just about every one.
100%. He's got everything. Look at the performances he's been putting in. He's been beating people in the fashion, that style that he's been beating people in. Look back to that fight on the Barclays Centre, that win he had there. He's going to go all the way to the top of the sport, and I think it's about building fighters at the right pace. Getting in that preparation. He's with Andy Lee now, who I mentioned. Ben Whittaker is going to become a global superstar of the sport, undoubtedly. There is no question, and I'm excited to see him back out. That activity has been key for that, and then we get him back out early part of next year, and then step into those world title fights towards the end of 2027.
Massive night on September 5th as well. When talking about the schedule on DAZN is unrivaled, but from a Matchroom perspective, and for you doing things behind the scenes, getting things done, how difficult was it to get Croke Park over the line for Katie Taylor?
Yeah, it was difficult, but amazing things shouldn't be easy. That's the reality. Croke Park on September 5th is going to be a night nobody will ever forget. I said actually earlier, we've done some of the biggest shows in the world, right? Some of the best atmospheres, some of the biggest crowds. Some of the best nights I remember were in front of 10,000 people at the 3 Arena with Katie Taylor when she fought Chantel Cameron those 2 times. When you hear 80,000 people in Croke Park that night, when the pyros are going off, when Katie Taylor is walking to that ring, honestly, you will never have experienced a moment quite like it. So I'm the negative one when it comes to, I look at money, I look at the numbers, trying to make things work. But I'm glad Eddie made a huge push to make this happen. It was never about making money, it was about creating a moment that we'll never forget in the sport, and that's what September 5th will be.
Yeah, can't wait for that one, and can't wait for later on tonight. And Tyson Fury, look, he was victorious last night over in Thailand against Marius Wack, and obviously straight after he got out the ring, in the ring, doing lots of interviews, gave his opinion on Anthony Joshua. I believe we are going to show you a little clip now of what the Gypsy King had to say last night.
Go and suck me big gypsy balls. Tell him that. And he's getting chinned. I want to keep going, I want to box. And if the fight's going to be postponed till next year, I'm going to fight again and again and again. I'm not just going to stay out the ring and wait for a sausage, a big useless potato. I could have sat down and done all for 2 years. Just the fight, like I said in there tonight. It's the whole build-up, fight week, press conferences, weigh-ins, wrapping your hands for real, going out there having a fight with a big man. It all builds you up for the next one.
You're definitely not going to Jeddah, right?
Yeah, I'm going, yeah. See you there, ringside.
Thoughts?
He's coming. He's coming. He's just said it there. He's just said it there. It's not a surprise anymore. Look, it's Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the king of talking. I'm a bit worried because I said some things in interviews, so I don't want to bump into him. I'm going to stay right clear of Tyson Fury tonight. I'm a bit scared of Tyson Fury. Yeah. So look, this fight is a moment we've waited so long for, isn't it? And the talking is only going to build and build and build. AJ's got his job to do tonight. And then we shall see what happens. We shall see if Tyson Fury jumps in the ring.
Frank Smith, a pleasure to see you on
Thank you
prelims.
very
It's
much.
interesting they put you on the prelims and Eddie on the pay-per-view.
And
it's a
you,
bit unfair.
and
I
you
know,
as
we're
well.
the B team,
Yeah, exactly.
but we're the better looking player anyway. Anyway, on we go with the action here on prelims. Back down to your MC, Thomas Tribe.
Let's now welcome to the ring from Tanzania, Frank Lucian Mango.
As Jamie said, the action continues. Frank Lucian Mungo from Tanzania, 29 years old, 9 fights into his pro career. 8 of those have been victories with just the 1 defeat, and 5 of his wins have come inside the distance. This is the very first fight for him outside of his home country. And as he looks up and around, Paddy, what a moment.
Yeah, it's a brilliant opportunity. He just has 1 loss on his record, so on paper this seems to be a 50-50 fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see Suzu, who's training with one of the best boxing coaches in the world, Buddy McGirt. I see his last fight, good offensive fighter, but he has a lot to work on, so I want to see improvement tonight. he seems to have the weight of the country on his back at the moment. So a lot of pressure. Good champions bounce back, and I'm excited to see can he bounce back tonight.
Well, this is the man he'll have to bounce back from, who's just taken a moment to take it all in. Having a look around as this arena starts to fill up properly, and has got a real good energy about it. Fair play to him. These opportunities, these moments don't come round every single week. Take it all in. Here he is. The moment has come. Frank Mungo.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Saudi Arabia, Ziyad Zizo Almaayouf.
And a lift of volume inside the arena here in Jeddah, because 26-year-old Saudi Arabian fighter Ziyad Almaayouf makes his way to the ring. Trained by Buddy McGurk, managed by Paul Smith and Anthony Joshua's 258 management group, and looking to get back to winning ways this evening. He had a close and seriously tough fight against Kevin Castillo at the Mecca of Boxing, Madison Square Garden, earlier this year. And he said, if you dwell on the past, then you will almost definitely stay there. With that mindset, you can only move one way.
Yeah, that's right, it's up. He seems so confident, he seems relaxed, he's got the crowd behind him. He's on his home turf, so I wish him all the best and hope he gets the job done tonight.
Saudi Arabia's first ever professional boxer. He's confident as he climbs through the ropes, and he lifts his hands to lift the volume inside the Superdome here in Jeddah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the super lightweight division, brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season and Sella, in association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing and Gold Star Promotions. The judges are Arkadiusz Malik, Koji Tanaka, and Don Tehran. Our referee in charge will be Mikael Hook. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing Blackwood blue and weighed in officially at 141 pounds. Coming to us from Makuburi, Tanzania, he brings a professional record of 8 wins, just 1 defeat. 5 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frank Lucian Mungo! And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He comes to the ring wearing green with white and weighed in officially at 143.2 pounds. Hailing from Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he has a professional record of 7 wins, just 1 defeat, 1 draw, 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the fighting pride of the Arab world, Ziyad Zizo Almaayouf!
You know the rules. Protect yourself all the time. When I say stop and break, no punches. Stop and break, no punches. Touch gloves and good luck.
There's some really good noise in here for Ziyad Almaayouf in those Saudi colours. representing the Kingdom. And they've come out to watch him here this evening. This one scheduled for 8 in the super lightweight division. Frank Mungo in the black and blue shorts in the southpaw stance. A pretty unknown quantity, really. First fight out of his own country. Zizo looking to establish that jab early on. For this round, Paddy, he's going to be surely just about having a look, working your man out, and then picking your plan, right?
Yeah, just stand tall, get behind the jab. We know how much Buddy loves a fighter that jabs well, so everything comes off the jab. A couple of jabs, set up the right hand, and find yourself in the fight.
Mungo got through with a left hand there. Now Almaayouf, nice and steady here in that orthodox stance, just trying to set the pace and control the rhythm of the fight. Good right hand there, double jab beforehand. And Mungo found himself on the canvas pretty quick there, but he looks up at the referee and says, I'm good to continue. Now Almaayouf isn't jumping straight on his man, but he lands a nice timely right hand, which is shook off by Mungo. He just loses his footing himself.
Mungo's one of these awkward fighters that you have to take you a couple of rounds to get used to come into it, but so far he's doing so well.
He is. He's a bit unorthodox, is Mungo, which, like you said, takes a couple of rounds, doesn't it? Because often when you've got a fighter which does things differently, it's just not what you're used to, and you've got to adapt and overcome. Now Almaayouf will do his best to do that. Is there a shot that you think Mungo's open to, Paddy?
Listen, he just needs to stand tall, get behind the jab. Zuzu just needs to jab, find himself in the fight, and then everything comes off the jab. As I said, this opponent that he's up against right now, Frank Mungo, is quite awkward, so it might take him a round or two to figure him out, but so far he's doing well.
That is the voice of Paddy Donovan, ringside with me here in Jeddah this evening. Zizo Almaayouf landed a nice short right hand there. But it looks like he's just starting to get into his groove now, and you said it'll take a couple of rounds likely.
Yeah, listen, when you score a knockdown in the first round, it's always a good round. It's positive, it's a great start. He's got the crowd behind him. And he seems very, very confident. As I said, he just needs to stand tall, get behind that good jab, and everything will come off that, I'm sure. Buddy's going to tell him that in the corner, and he's looking good so far.
One of the things which I've heard Almaayouf say is, looking 10 years into the future, he doesn't really think about the world titles or the belts or anything. For him, it's about inspiring the next generation and those on the way up who maybe haven't even started professional boxing or amateur boxing yet in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And he's got the right mindset, hasn't he?
Yeah, listen, he's opening the gates for the young kids coming through, and he's backed by His Excellency, and he's got a great team behind him. So he just needs to keep winning and keep doing what he's doing, and get this fight out of the way and move on to bigger and better things.
Mungo straight out in that southpaw stance. Throws a bit of a messy left hand. Almaayouf deals with it. He's just trying to work out that distance at the moment. And it's the right hand which he is having success with. In that opening round, it was a double jab right hand which sent Mungo to the canvas, put him on the seat of his pants, if you were.
I'd like to see Zuzo jabbing over his jab. The orthodox versus the southpaw. It's the battle of the jabs. Who wins the jabs over the top, the inside, the outside? At the moment, he hasn't found his jab, so that's why it's a bit scrappy. But once he starts establishing a good jab, just like he's doing right now, it'll open the gates to big shots for him.
Everything comes off of that jab, the most important shot in boxing. Almaayouf trying to find something which comes off the back of it, which he can connect with, which he can register, and there it is. There's that right hand. Timing is everything. So he just keeps himself busy with that jab, popping it out, feinting. Looks like he's trying to get Mungo to commit like he did then.
You can see Ziyad has been working on his defense. I think he's got very good offense. He's a good puncher, solid puncher. But that doesn't make you a champion. You have to be an all-round fighter, and I think Buddy is learning him the ways of good defending, good shooting, and as you can see, the counters is coming.
Nice work there from Ziyad. Just steps back ever so slightly with his right foot, pinged the right hand straight down the middle. Mungo looking for the body. That's the shot, Paddy, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
right
that short right hand.
Right down the middle. He's open right down the middle all the time, even to the body. If he decides to go downstairs, he'll be open to the body. He's quite open. I think another round or two, he'll start to break him down. And I can see a stoppage coming.
Well, Mungo keeps walking into those right hands, but he kind of lunges forward and tries to throw a backhand of his own, and that seems to be Ziyad. Almaayouf is catching his man, and there it is again. Good work, right hand, left hook followed, and a little lift in volume here in the arena. Those who have taken their seats already enjoyed that one. Well, let's catch up with Emily Austin, who is in the fan zone.
We are here in the fan zone, and as you can see, look around, fans are already starting to fill in, and we are still in prelims, so it is a super exciting night. But if you're not physically here, I promise you, no need to fear. Open up your DAZN app, click on the fan zone, and you can make your voice heard. Get involved. You can vote in polls, choose your fight of the night, choose your favorite fighter, talk about who you think was the best. In fact, you can even ask our commentators questions, and if you're lucky, they might even have an opportunity to answer your question. Until then, stay tuned at DAZN Boxing on Instagram. You'll see me throughout the night producing these social videos, and if you want to get involved on the social side, make sure you're using hashtag Joshua Prenga. So we will see you. Stay tuned for a super exciting night.
Well, thank you, Emily. Earlier on, we also heard from our team over in Australia, covering Errol Spence versus Tim Zhu. The man next to me has now got his eyes firmly on the man in Australia, who goes by the name of Liam Parrow. Isn't that right, Mr. Donovan?
Yeah, we've got to deal with McKenna in Dublin, Crow Park. And then we move on to Parrow, where we're going to become the world champion and push for the biggest fights in boxing at the welterweight division.
Well said, that man. Almaayouf has got his eyes on one person at the moment, Frank Mungo of Tanzania. A difficult character, a bit of a puzzle to work out. But a puzzle he does seem to be just about getting on top of, and it's a straight right hand over and over again, which is having the success. Straight through the middle of that guard.
I'd like to see Souza go to the body a little bit more. Change it up a bit. I think Mango is getting used to the headshots. He's defending them now quite well. So I think if you change it up a little bit, go downstairs and bring it back upstairs, I think you'll find a bit more success.
There's the right hand. That is the shot which he's been timing. And the referee is giving him a count here. But over and over again, we have seen Almaayouf land that shot. He takes a step back with his right foot, then pings the right hand straight through the middle. And Mungo is going to have to do a bit of work here, because Ziyad has got the bit between his teeth and he's confident. Good double jab. Straight left down return from Mungo. He's quite difficult to land to the body, isn't he, Paddy? Just because of the way that he boxes, and he's got this very different crouching style and doesn't actually leave too much open down there.
Yeah, he's actually quite awkward. He's not easy to land on cleanly. As you can see, when you attack him, he falls down, he pushes into you, which means it's quite hard for you to land your clean shots. But I can see Zuzo now is starting to figure him out a little bit more. He's stepping on the outside, he's jabbing over his jab, he's looking for the right hand, he's starting to put shots together, and he's looking a lot better. Composure is brilliant so far.
He is, and some fighters are very good at making others not look so good because of the way that they box.
That's better for the body.
Nice right hand to the body. Dug his toes into the canvas and sunk that one in the far corner. You can see Almaayouf waiting for some sort of attack from Mungo. There it is. He goes straight underneath it but doesn't land the counter punch.
That's good.
Ziyad clearly the bigger fighter there, the longer, rangier arms. And fair play to Mungo. He's been hit with a few solid shots, but he's still in there, bites down on his gum shield. And still having a go. What would you be saying to Ziyad if you were in that corner and your body McGirt, Paddy?
Yeah, he's doing well. You have to look at the fight so far. He's winning all the rounds handy, he's scoring good knockdowns, and he's in control. Just find the jab a bit more. I like to see a fighter jab a little bit more. That's an amazing right hand. I'm not sure how he took that and stood up. But yeah, so far, so good.
There it is. That's the timing. A tiny little shuffle back, puts his weight on the back foot, and then pings in the right hand. And I'm unsure whether the ref actually gave that as a knockdown or not, because it was unclear whether his gloves hit the canvas.
Yeah, but look, it's a positive sign that you can hurt your opponent. And it gives you good strength and confidence. So Zuzo, I'm sure, is going to capitalise on that in this round. And I'm sure he's going to up the pace a little bit.
Almaayouf is a man with mental stability. He says that boxing, in his words, is 99% mental and 1% physical. What you can do with your brain is unbelievably powerful. Putting it into action with his skills and getting past a tricky customer here.
Yeah, he just needs to keep putting on the pressure. Heated pressure, controlled pressure behind a good jab and a good right hand. Set up the shots and look for them good body shots downstairs. That's better.
He really put some weight behind that right hand, did Ziyad Almaayouf. But Mungo just reminds him that he's there and he's a live opponent.
He isn't going away easy.
What a shot that was. Crisp, clean, straight down the middle. Does he need to be getting on top of his man when he's landing that type of shot, though?
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more pressure now. Breaking him down, as I said, he scored knockdowns. He's landing great shots. I think if he puts on a little bit more pressure, I think he'll get the stoppage. And maybe look for the same time punches. We know Mango's quite awkward on his offense, but I think if he times him, Zuzo times him at the one time, I think he'll be very, very successful.
Good work there from Mungo. Double jab. Got himself out the danger zone. And again. Almaayouf being patient here.
Just doesn't want to fall in, Zuzo. Just stand tall and just keep scoring. And as I said, the big punch will come. Right now he's looking for the big punch. The controlled pressure seems really good from him. The jab is good, the right hand is good. The variations of shots is very good. He just needs to not fall over his feet, keep good footwork, coordination with his hands. And he's doing very, very well.
When Almaayouf is busy enough, he does just control 90% of the fight then, doesn't he? So I think as soon as he starts having a little bit of a break and he allows Mungo back in.
I think Mungo's doing well because he's jabbing on the outside. Good shot, body shot.
That was a good right hand there, and the leg certainly went wobbly of Mungo. And he's done well to recover there if he has recovered. It looks like he's just trying to find his feet beneath him.
keeps stepping away from the right hand. Zuzo struggling a bit with that. But if Zuzo starts coming to the left, stepping outside Mango, you get more success in this fight.
It's that right hand over and over again from Ziyad Almaayouf. It's pinpoint actually, and the timing is impeccable. Just have a look here. There it is. Snaps the head back, the sweat bounces off Mungo's head and glistens in the brightness of the lights here in Jeddah. Yeah, that's the one.
That seems to be the money shot so far from. That's where he's getting his success. It all came down from the right hand. So, yeah, he's doing well. It's a good fight. Mango's doing well. He's jabbing on the outside. He's making things awkward for Zuzo. This round should be interesting again.
So heard Buddy McGirt there telling him to bring in that right uppercut. Sounded like he said when you're close in. Words to that effect. And the character is Buddy McGirt.
You can see Zuzo start to jab on the outside, where I think Buddy has told him, get the jab going, jabbing over the southpaw jab, and then the right hands will come.
Because, yeah, Mungo kind of leans in that southpaw stance, doesn't he? He's got a bit of a drop on that right side, which leads him to it. There's the shot.
There you go. He's taking some good shots, Mango here.
Tough guy.
It's obviously a big chance for him. He's not going to lie down without a fight. It's a big opportunity for him and his family, and and look at the event he's on. So he's not going to go out easy. He's going to put up a hell of a fight, but he's getting outclassed so far in this contest.
Yeah, most definitely. Almaayouf winning this one, in our opinion anyway.
I'd like to see Zuzo keep his shape a little bit more. Keep disciplined. Stand tall. Don't be falling back into his bad habits, what he did against Castellano. Stand tall, good jabs. And as I said, good shots will come from that. It's when you fall down and you start to lose your concentration a little bit, that's where Mango might have a bit of success. So he needs to get back behind the jab and set up these shots.
There it is, he tripled it up a moment ago. I'm going to go himself. Nice straight left hand through the middle there from Mungo.
Zuzo just lost his shape a little bit in this round. I'd like to see him change up the speed of his shot, Zuzo. From fast pace to slow pace, to strong to easy, to mix it up a little bit. Right now, every punch seems to be hard. Mango's getting used to this.
Does that make it quite easy to read, do you think?
I think what he's doing right now, Mango will... Oh!
He gets caught there with a left hand from Mungo. The timing was really good.
5, 6, 7.
It's a bit of a flash knockdown, I think.
Yeah, you could see he was losing his shape a little bit in this round. He wasn't... This would be interesting.
With 20 seconds to go in the Saudi crowd has got behind their man here. Mungo full of confidence, understandably. And there's a right hand in return from Almaayouf.
Now we could see a fight.
And that is the challenge for this guy, Frank Mungo. As he throws punches from awkward angles, doesn't he?
Yeah, not a great round. Buddy won't be happy with that in the corner. I seen it early in the round that he was losing his shape. He was disregarding his jab, and therefore Mango had a chance to score him, which he did. Got a good knockdown. It's been a good round for him. I'm sure his team will be happy with that.
There you go, there's the shot.
Sweet, right in the money. I think it was more of a lack of concentration that round than anything else. I don't think he was really hurting that in that round.
I don't think he was hurt. He looked a little bit surprised he was there, didn't he?
Yeah, just listen, I think he switched off completely in that round. It's quite a poor round for him, and he was open to counters. And that's what happens. Boxing is a game where you have to be switched on 24/7 in that ring. Anything can happen. I think he had that glitch for 10 or 15 seconds, and that's what can happen in boxing.
Buddy McGirt tells his man that Mungo is going to come out strong in this opening part of the round. He will. He'll be riding on the confidence and the buzz of the shot he just landed. Now, Ziyad struggling, that's the wrong word, but having to think a little bit harder, I think.
He's in a fight now. We're going to, as I said, we're going to see the best of him now. Can he come through this? This is a big chance for him, big challenge for him after his last loss. There's a lot to prove. He's been down in this, so he needs to bounce back and get this win.
Mungo trying to find that same shot which he landed in the 5th round. An awkward styled straight left hand of his. Mungo being difficult with that jab of his own now.
That's good movement by Mungo. Both angles, left, right. He's standing tall, he's keeping his shape. And he's out jabbing Zuzo at the moment. And that's where he's getting his success. I think Zuzo's falling in. As you can see, he's not putting his punches and his feet work together. And I think he just needs to get the jab going. Like the early rounds, and I think good shots will come after that.
Good work from both men. Ziyad just trying to get that jab going, trying to be busy with it. Mungo making life unbelievably difficult. A wild lead hook. Oleksandr Usyk ringside, eyes focused on the centre of the boxing ring. That adds a little bit of pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great to have stars in the building. It's a big boost for some fighters, and some fighters bottle when they see the big names. So I would love to see Usyk watching me fight.
One day, it'll happen. Mungo actually doing a really good job of nullifying any of the attacks which are coming his way.
It's quite a close round. It's there for the taking. Whoever wants to get it, you can go and get it in the last 20 seconds.
I think what you said a little bit earlier on, Paddy, is he's worked out the speed and the shots which are coming his way as Mungo, which is making it a lot more difficult for Almaayouf to land them cleanly.
Yeah, he seemed trying to get the crowd going. Something about these Saudi people, they seem so happy and cheerful, even when they're in fights. But just needs to get back doing the simple things, basic things. The Buddy McGirt fighters usually do. Just get behind the jab, and set up the right hand. If he starts to do that, he'll have the success. But if he starts to fall forward and lose his concentration, well then, that's where Mungo gets his success.
Buddy McGirt animated in the corner there. He knows exactly what he wants to see. And I think Paddy's probably hit the nail on the head. He's got to be back to basics, isn't it? He's the taller man.
Back to the fundamentals, back behind the jab, and just standing tall. And just enjoying it a bit more, you know. Don't be forcing the shots. Just pick your shots, and as I said, the big punches always comes.
Oh, penultimate round. I've got to be honest, I wasn't sure we were going to get here in the first couple of rounds.
Me too.
Almaayouf is doing a great job with the straight right hand down the middle. Landing it very crispy indeed.
Good. It's good work from him. It's good, sharp, good variations of punches, left hand, right uppercut, left hand. It's perfect against an orthodox fighter. So his coach is doing a good job in the selection of shots he's telling him to throw. It's better by Zuzo. Better pressure, controlled pressure. I'd like to see him counter as Mongo makes his way in. He keeps stepping back, and I think Mongo gets success from that, and he can read that. But once Zouzo stands his ground and punch and meets him just like he's done, that's where his success comes.
And right on cue, Mongo tried to make some sort of attack on his feet square and got hit right on the nose.
Same time punch him.
There's the shot again.
Yeah. He's starting to meet him now. I think he's starting to figure out his style a little bit more. He's holding his feet a bit more, and he's meeting him on the way in. So I think he's doing exactly the right job in this round.
And as you said earlier on, getting that left down, that jab over his jab, that should bring him a bit of success as well.
It opens up everything. Once you start winning the battle with the jabs, as I said, everything opens up. Once you start losing the battle, that's where it becomes a problem.
A minute to go in this one. Plenty of time to land something significant. And Mongo actually doing a good job of doing what you said earlier on in terms of rhythm and speed of punches, and the same with the footwork, which is making himself quite difficult to read. And he's not the easiest type of fighter to read anyway because of the unorthodox style that he's got.
I'd like to see Zouzo holding his jab hand a bit higher. It's easier to jab from that position when your jab is high. You can see it sometimes when you start to put your hand on by your hip and start to jab. Mongo is starting to read that. If you look at Mongo, he's keeping his shape well. He's dipping down once Zouzo comes in, and he's avoiding the punches. So he's doing a very, very good job of slowing down Zouzo in this round.
The last few seconds of the round, both will need and want to finish it strongly. And the judges scoring ringside here in Jeddah. And I think, for me, the story of the last couple of rounds, at least, is Mongo is doing a marvellous job of just being frustrating more than anything.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to win this fight, but I just think he's in there right now, just being very awkward, being very, very hard to hit, and he's landing his shots. I think Zouzo just needs to keep his shape, stand tall, and just control the fight a little bit more. I think that was a better round for him. He put on a good pressure and he landed some good shots. Just win this round, nothing reckless, and just get out of there with the win.
Nothing reckless. He's
still learning, you know, he's still a long way to go. He's with one of the best coaches in the world. These fights is great for him. Just needs to win this.
We need to see from Ziyad, Almaayouf, Zouzo, a final round in the same sort of fashion, in the same sort of way that he did the first couple of rounds. I agree with you, Paddy. I don't think Zouzo's losing this because he started the fight very well. It's just been an unbelievably frustrating couple of rounds, the last two.
Sometimes that happens when you score nearly knockdown. You can lose concentration for a few rounds. He's doing a lot better in the last couple of rounds, and he started very well in this 8th. You see he's losing the battle with the jab on the outside. You see it there? Just as he comes in, Mongo's clipping him with the jab, just making things awkward for him. It's better when he jabs.
Do you think that Zouzo is just not busy enough with that jab? Is that what it is?
Maybe the crowd wants to impress, maybe he wants to get the knockdown, the knockout. That's what he's trying for, and sometimes when you try for that, it never happens. I think once you start to box and establish your jab and your right hand and you put body shots, then you can clip the knockdown or the knockout. But once you start looking for it and forcing it, and up against a fighter like Mongo, he can make things very, very awkward for you. That's good feinting by him there.
Mongo good at changing the angle and circling around to his right to make sure that he's out the way of the right hand. Quite a few times in the last couple, the shot has come from Almaayouf, but Mongo has made sure he's just about out of the way.
Good work.
It is, it's good work. Mongo's had a bit of a second wind actually in this contest. Good defensive work there from Almaayouf. Need to see an attack after it. It's the second phases, I think, which have let Almaayouf down a bit here, because he'll land a really good double jab and then, or a clean right hand, and then he'll step off.
He seems to be falling down to the right all the time. I think Mongo can read that. He keeps falling down. I'd like to see him stand tall and just meet him with shots on the way in. Good body shots, good right hands, even the left hook. We haven't seen one left hook in the whole fight from Zizo, which there's a lot of things he has to improve on. It's a better performance than his last one, but he's a long way to go.
Well, 10 fights in to the professional career of Ziyad Almaayouf. He didn't have it all his own way in there this evening. A very frustrating opponent in Frank Mungo, who landed a peach of a shot himself, and in the latter part of the fight made life extremely difficult. We're just celebrating, trying to get the crowd up for it anyway. As I said earlier on, he said he's not going to look back at his career in all the years to come and how many belts he may win. He is about the people of his country and this sport, and he wants it to thrive. And as the first official professional boxer from Saudi Arabia, I think he feels like there's something on him to bring to the country. But coming up later on is this one. Josh Kelly, Kevin Ajarko. Paddy Donovan next to me said that's going to be a good one when he sat down in his commentary position earlier on. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be tight. I think it's going to go right down to the wire. We're going to see how good Josh is. We know there was a lot of pressure on Josh coming up to being a world champion. Now he's a world champion. Maybe now we get to see the best of Josh Kelly. But I think Kevin Ajarko seems so hungry tonight. And we're in for a classic, I think, tonight.
It's some opportunity for him. It really is. Well, Frank Mungo looks confident. Thomas Triber has the scorecard, so over to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Arka Dayush Malik scores it 78-71. And both judges, Don Tehran and Koji Tanaka, are in agreement. They both scored the same, 77-72, all for the winner by unanimous decision. From Riyadh, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Ziyad Zizo Almaayouf.
Well, Ziyad Almaayouf gets the decision, 78-71. And Frank Mungo looks disappointed with that. For me personally, I feel the scorecards were a bit wide there. I think that Mungo deserved more than that. So understandably disappointed. But I think it was a fight of two halves, Paddy.
Yeah, listen, the right man won the fight. The scorecards is a bit far between, but the right man won the fight. That's the most important thing tonight. So well done to him, and I wish him all the best going forward.
Well, there'll be plenty to look back on and go back to the drawing board with, but he's with Jamie now.
Thank you, Darren. Zizo, congratulations. Back to winning ways back here in Saudi Arabia. What an atmosphere for you tonight. A tough fight. You had to get off the canvas to win tonight. Just sum up the emotions for us here this evening.
First of all, I want to thank the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman, and His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, for the opportunity and for the empowerment to our youth and their support in boxing to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you again and again and again to His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh for the opportunity again to come back win again in another tough fight. But listen, this night is not about me being back to winning ways. This night is about Saudi Arabia. This night is about the Arab world. There were 3 Saudis on this card for the first time in history together on a Riyadh season card. There were 2 Egyptians on the card, 5 Arabs on this card that dominated tonight. But speaking of winning ways, what a way to come back than this way. A way to show what my journey has been like. I'm winning, I get knocked down, I get up off the canvas, and I win by unanimous decision. Listen, thank God for everything, alhamdulillah for everything, but today I'm proud to be Arab, today I'm proud to be Saudi, because I fought in front of all of you. You guys made me win. I won because of you. I won because of you. Thank you.
What a man. Zizzo, just talk us through some of those key moments, particularly in that 5th round. What happened from your perspective that caused the knockdown?
I'm waiting to wake up tomorrow morning and know exactly what happened, because now I only remember the 1st round, the 6th round, and the last round. The knockdown in the middle, I don't remember. But listen, this stuff is gonna happen. A construction worker is gonna get dirty, a swimmer is gonna get wet, and a boxer is gonna get knocked down, but he's gonna get back up and win the fight. That's a real fighter.
How did you deal with the pressure tonight, Zizzo, as you say, to get back to winning ways when you made your ring walk here tonight? How did the nerves compare for you perhaps this evening?
I want to thank God, first of all, alhamdulillah. God dealt with the pressure. I didn't do anything. I just wear the gloves and I press play and I go on autopilot. God does the rest. But I work with a very good mental performance coach, and my advice to anybody, if I can have this moment to say anything, take your mental health seriously. If it's in sports, if it's in your work, my work with my mental performance coach changed my life as an athlete. So I advise all of you to go check that out. But the Zone asked me before the fight, are you feeling pressure or are you feeling motivation? And I told them I'm feeling pressure, which gives me the motivation. I'm motivated, but pressure channels it. So listen, I'm here now, I'm standing in front of you, got knocked down, got back up. I'm a different fighter now. Been beat, been knocked down, got up, been won, been lost, but now I'm a champion. And I'm gonna be Saudi Arabia's world champion. Me and all the Saudis together are gonna do it. All of us, we're all gonna do it. We're all gonna win. And we talk about the American fighters, we talk about the English fighters, we talk about the European fighters. But now, it's time to talk about the Saudi Arabian fighters. Now it's time to talk about the Arab fighters.
Zizzo, final word to you. Do you have a message you want to leave for this crowd tonight? I know who's watching on DAZN.
Listen, I didn't hear your question, but it was something about the crowd. This crowd is the best crowd in the world. For all the world who doesn't know, this is Saturday night. Tomorrow we have work. Try to do a boxing event anywhere else on a Sunday night and see how they pack up a full arena like this one for the Saudi fighters. Look at you guys, champions. You are the real champions. You are the real fighters. We just have a duty to the nation and to those amazing people, and we do it.
Zizzo, congratulations, back to winning ways. You're doing your country proud. You've done yourself proud as well here in the ring tonight. I think it's safe to say he enjoyed that one. Back to you guys.
Well, that is a man who can talk well and get the people behind him. And this is the story of the fight. And there was that initial knockdown. It was that double jab, straight right hand. And it was the right hand, Paddy, over and over again, until Mungo started to work it out a bit.
Yeah, listen, I'm happy for him. He seems to be a very good guy at heart. His speech was just as good as his fight, so I enjoyed that. But yeah, look, I wish him all the best going forward. And the sky's the limit for the Saudi boxing at the moment.
It certainly is. That was a fight which had a little bit of everything. And as we said earlier on, neither of them had it their own way. And it was quite comical, actually, what he said in his post-fight interview with Jamie, that he was only going to remember a particular round, and a particular round. Well done to him. He is back to winning ways. The judges have given it his way. I'm sure he'll want to be back in there as soon as he possibly can. But tonight will be for celebrating. Well done, that man. So we've got a great heavyweight matchup tonight in our main event. Two big men with proper knockout power. It'll be a massive moment for Anthony Joshua to complete the comeback journey on his mission back to the top of the heavyweight division.
If you were to draw your perfect heavyweight, it would be 6'5", 18 stone, wrecking machine.
It is lights out! Wow! Anthony Joshua!
He was the face of British sport.
He brought a country together.
One night can change your life.
The plan was always to be undisputed.
I think that's the only time he's felt somebody's actually just better than him.
Some breaking news coming out of Nigeria. Anthony Joshua has been involved in a serious car accident.
99.9% of people in this world would have given up.
Coming for it all, man. I want you to come in the ring and give me no respect.
You can tell he's now fighting for something more than just himself.
He can possibly be the best heavyweight in the world again.
For Prenga, this is everything.
That puts him onto a different stratosphere in terms of recognition and who he is as a boxer.
If you're hungry enough, you'll find yourself in the right place. If you're not hungry enough, you'll find yourself in wherever you find yourself. But this is where I found myself.
They call this the comeback, which is quite strange because it's only really been 6 months since we saw AJ in the ring in December. Obviously, everyone's aware of what happened since. And for me, this is one of the great comebacks. I know AJ is always business as usual, but for us, we're incredibly proud of what he's done to return to the ring. 99.9% of people in this world would have given up because of the mental battle going on with the grief. So it's like physically you've got to overcome all these hurdles, yet mentally you're broken. I mean, incredible.
I don't expect Prenga or anyone to be at the level that I've seen them. I expect them to be 20, 25, 30% better. But so will I, because I know what's at stake. I want you to come in the ring and give me no respect and try and do what you think you can do best, because across the ring is someone who will be doing the exact same.
I'm gonna do my best, my brother.
Good luck.
I promise you.
Good luck.
Well, let's give you another reminder of exactly what is coming your way then here tonight, of course, on the pay-per-view portion of the card. Head over to thezone.com/boxing to watch any more of tonight's action after, of course, the final fight on the prelims coming up next here tonight, headlined by the main man, Anthony Joshua, back in action on the comeback against Kristian Prenga. 2 World Championship fights to look forward to as well. So much to look forward to here from the Superdome tonight in Jeddah. That is the pay-per-view portion of the card. And speaking of pay-per-view portion of the card, my colleague and good friend Ade Oladipo will be taking over the reins for the back half of the programme. He's backstage with the rest of the crew.
Tony, I love this. I love the setup. This is when it feels big, doesn't it? It feels really, well, it's AJ. It is big, but it is good to be in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We're on the hunt, everyone, for Darren and Barry, because this is the fan zone. There's a kids section, and I feel like we're going to find him in the kids section.
Of course in the kids section, but this is a setup. It's amazing. To the people who have done it all, wow. This is the best indoor place I've seen in boxing. I can't remember a place it's good. Have you ever seen a fan zone like this? Have you ever seen the things that are around? And let's go and see what the kids are doing.
There you go, found the kids. Look at them. 2 kids. And I knew they'll be here as well. Look at the excitement. Cameraman, get Barry's face. Get Barry's face. Look at this. Look at this. Even in the defeat, he's smiling. Even in the defeat, he's smiling. Level of excitement for tonight, boys.
On the roof, out of the roof, really is. It's a Joshua night, come on.
It's a Joshua night. Darren?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's special. Every time he fights, there's magic in the air. And I expect something very special tonight because there's a big fight looming.
Guys, both of you get up. Both of you get up. Game over. Game over. We need to find Carlos. Carlos Frampton, where are you? There he is. There he is. Look at him. Look at him.
Don't stop talking, does he?
Carl, stop pretending you're working, Carl. Stop pretending you're working. Barfoot, be gone. Be gone. No, be gone. There you go. There you go. We found Carl. We found. I need Barry. I need Barry, Tony to get together because this is like twins plus one. See, Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Danny DeVito's brother. Carl, level of excitement today.
Nah, I'm buzzing. I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, a big deal for AJ, big comeback. The Fury fight is on the horizon, but he has to do business. But for me, being a Belfast man, really looking forward to Aguiarco and Josh Kelly. I think it's going to be a great fight as well.
I asked Tony about this setup. I'm going to ask you very quickly. This is incredible, isn't it? This is the fan zone. I mean, you could put a ring here.
We've seen a lot of fan zones, haven't we? This has got to be the biggest, most grand we've been to. Do you know what? It sets the tone, doesn't it? Tonight's going to be magic. It's going to be special.
AJ knockout in 3?
Yeah, I don't think he sees the third round. I think it's over inside 2.
Yeah, we want to see a positive, aggressive Anthony Joshua, the old Anthony Joshua. And if we see him, 2-3 rounds max.
Yeah, I agree with the boys. I think that...
No one cares what you think. All right, guys, back to you.
They really do have the dream job indeed, don't they, those guys? But doing a wonderful job. Join all the guys on the pay-per-view section of the show a little bit later on. And very happy to be here up on the stage with a very special guest, a very important man in the sport of boxing, recently inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He's a cut man and now an author. Russ Amber joins me on stage. Ross, Unrivaled, a boxing memoir, a new book from yourself.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about the book and why you felt now was the time for yourself to tell your story in boxing.
Well, first of all, I'd love to take the credit for being the author, but I'm not. I'm more the subject than the author. Paul Harrietta was the guy gracious enough to write this book for us, and even better, Curtis Press is a publishing house in the UK who wanted to print my story, who wanted to tell my story, and I figured it was about time, that I spoke of my coming up on 50 years in the sport at all levels, and I wanted to not only tell the story, but thank the people who allowed me to have the start that I had, because if you don't have the people to give you a start, you don't get to the point where you are now. Maybe your life takes a different path. So I wanted that opportunity to thank my former fighters, to tell the story of my former fighters, my group of amateurs that I traveled, North America with, trying to get fights, driving for $400 for a 4-round fight. I wanted to tell that story because now I get to bask in the big fights with guys like Anthony or Usyk or Loma, but it was because of them that I got the start. I wanted to tell that story, and I hope people will enjoy it. I hope it's something that they'll like, and I'm honored that a British house wanted to be my publisher for that book.
After all these years, Russ, what do you still love about the sport of boxing?
It's funny you ask that, because that was kind of my theme during my speech at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. It's that you from the moment you taste it, it's that thrill of victory when your guy wins. You're in the corner and your guy wins. And sometimes you play a big role in that victory. You keep chasing that high again and again. And whether it's at an amateur level or a 4-rounder or an 8-rounder opening preliminary bout or the main event, I'm going to work that corner the same way tonight for AJ as I did for these guys, because I just love to do my craft and I love to be part of the victory and part of the win and part of the work. And that's what keeps driving me. I'm 65 years old. I feel like I'm 25.
You look it.
Oh, stop. We need glasses here.
We planned that beforehand. Let's talk about Anthony Joshua, you just mentioned there. This is your second fight as part of Team Age. I believe obviously did the Jake Paul fight as well before this. In terms of your experience so far, what have you enjoyed about working with AJ?
Well, I've liked this one better than, to be fair, I like this one better than the Jake Paul fight, primarily because of AJ's mentality, his mental strength. His calmness now in the gym. He was in a good mood, and I know that a happy fighter can be a dangerous fighter, and I tell you that after being with somebody like Usyk. You know what I mean? So I can see he's in a better frame of mind. He's confident in what he's doing. So I like what I'm seeing, and I think this is aptly named the comeback.
What have you made of the relationship with him and Oleksandr? Look, they fought each other twice, they were former foes, and now it seems that they're great friends. They're two people you know very well. What have you made of that friendship?
Jamie, I think the key is this. Usyk is not doing this. Usyk is not doing this because of money or whatever. So he can tell AJ whatever he wants to tell him, and he can force him to do work, and AJ's not going to fire him. You understand? So he's going to make him do it, and I think that's a big difference. He has the respect of Anthony, and Anthony has his respect, and they know that they're working to a common goal. And I think that's the most important thing in boxing, is not just to have people around you who are going to say, yes, champ, yes, champ, yes, champ. They're going to have people tell you what to do, work, force you to do it, make you reach your full potential. And I think that's what Anthony needs. There's a lot of fight left in Joshua, and there's a lot of skill there. If he can get through this, he's going to become champion of the world again.
What do you make of your friend Oleksandr Usyk's decision to relinquish the world titles? And he says he's got one last dance. He's saying goodbye to the belts, not goodbye to the sport. What do you make of that decision?
Well, what it does is it proves what I have said for many years, is that while becoming undisputed is very important, right? All champions should strive to become undisputed. Once you have it for 6 months, you should give up the belts and only keep one if you want. Because now you're put under too much pressure from all the governing bodies. You have to fight him. You have to fight him. You got to go to purse bid for this guy. No. So you keep the division active. You have guys fighting, and each one of them strive to become undisputed. So now he's given that opportunity now for other people to get the belts and maybe one day become undisputed, like AJ maybe.
And for yourself, Russ, look, so many top fighters love to have Russ Amber in the team and in the corner. What does your role look like in the dressing room tonight? I know you never enforce yourself too much, but you always give your opinion. You've got a wonderful opinion. You've been around the sport for so many years. But around AJ in the dressing room tonight, what sort of role do you play in the dressing room?
Well, it's going to be different around AJ because I'm relatively fresh. But in the gym, I started talking a little more to him, and talking, come on, you got to stay strong in your head. So I think the beauty of what I love to do, deep down, I started my career as a coach, as a trainer. I never leave that. That's who I am. The fact that I'm a cut man doesn't take away that I'm a coach. So when I sit in the corner, my eyes are fixed on that ring. I'm seeing the fight open and evolve, and I'm looking at it from a trainer's perspective. And I'll tell the corner things that I see, and I'll tell them little adjustments. If there's a cut, I'll deal with it. While I'm sitting down, I'm an extra added eye as a coach, and I hope it helps the fighters that I work with, and I think it has with some of them. And you can read about it in the book.
Absolutely. And just finally, Russ, obviously this seems as the comeback for Anthony Joshua, full focus on Kristian Prenga, but it seems it's the final hurdle for that fight with Tyson Fury. You've come up against Tyson Fury a couple of times with Oleksandr Usyk. How much would you love to see that fight finally happen?
I'd love to go 3-0. I'd love to go 3-0. I hope it happens. I hope it happens. And it has to happen. This insanity that it might not happen in Britain is just insane, right? This is a fight that has to happen in the UK. Arguably one of the biggest fights in UK history. And I'd love to be in the corner of Anthony for that fight for sure.
Well, unrivaled, a boxing memoir, undoubtedly from a great man. The book will be a great read. Make sure you go and check that out.
Thanks,
best of luck in the corner with AJ. Thanks for joining us. Final fight of Prelims up next. Back to Thomas Treiber.
We continue with a battle of the undefeated. Let's first welcome to the ring from France, Lenny, the Gypsy Tank, Patrach.
Yes, one more to go here on the prelims. Lenny Patrach, 20 years old. This is fight number 10 for Patrach after an almost perfect start to his professional career. 8 wins, 5 by stoppage, just the 1 draw. He trains at the gym founded by one of the most famous and successful French fighters of all time, Marcel Cerdan. One of those fighters who had epic bouts with the likes of Dick Turpin and Jake LaMotta back in the day. And says that he wants to put French boxing on the map. But I'm now joined by the big guns. Darren Barker and Barry Jones are away from the video games, and they are ringside.
Dow, first off, I apologise on behalf to having to deal with us for a fight. But yeah, this young man is in deep. He's in very, very deep. He's deeper than Barry Jones's pockets. But the problem is Barry Jones has got very short arms.
That's quite a statement.
And now let's welcome to the ring from Ukraine, the Ukrainian tank, Oleksandr Khyzhniak.
Well, incoming is Oleksandr Khyzhniak. And as his name is read out by our MC, our ring announcer, Thomas Treiber, Oleksandr Usyk stood up out of his chair and put his hands together. He had his debut in Ukraine not that long ago and won by an explosive first round victory. And that fight was a fight with Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua present. He's a 2-time Olympian was unlucky in the Tokyo Games, 1 minute from winning the gold medal. He's laid the foundations for what could be a good professional career, Barry.
Yeah, well, he got the least amateur style I've ever seen of a guy to win a silver and a gold in an Olympic final. His hands high, not loads of head movement, relentless pressure. We'd seen to be made with the pro game because he turns his punch over correctly, punches hard, great engine, and I think he's got a great future. But at 30 years of age, he has to get his foot on the pedal. I think this boxing undefeated fighter shows intent for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season, Jeddah Season, and Sella. In association with Eddie Hearn for Matchroom Boxing, Gold Star Promotions, and Ready to Fight. The judges are Pavel Cardini, Arkadiusz Malik, and Valerio Mosca. The referee in charge will be Luis Babon. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He comes to the ring wearing black with white and weighed in officially at 175.8 pounds. Coming to us from Béziers, France, he brings an undefeated record with 8 wins. He has 1 draw, 5 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Lenny the Gypsy Tank Patrach. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing white with red and weighed in officially at 173 pounds. Hailing from Poltava, Ukraine, he had an outstanding amateur career, becoming both a 2020 Olympic silver medalist and 2024 Olympic gold medalist, and now as a professional. Undefeated with 1 win, that 1 win comes by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Ukrainian tank, Oleksandr Khyzhniak.
Okay, guys, here, to up is good. Guys, I give instruction in your corner. They're having a clean match, okay? Good luck.
Well, here we go then. The final bout of the prelims. Lenny Patrach of France in there against Oleksandr Khyzhniak of Ukraine. Patrach is undefeated and he has got his work cut out here. And Khyzhniak, as Barry Jones said, has got the most unlike amateur style going as he comes forward with his head down and he's chucking big, horrible hooks immediately, Barry.
Again, it's just classic Khyzhniak here. Non-stop pressure, but he punches wrong and everything's behind the jab. Just with a long right hand, he keeps that distance right, even though he's constantly aggressive.
He's relentless. He does not stop. You know, there's different types of Ukrainians, isn't there? Like there's the likes of Usyk and Lomachenko, and then there's the likes of Serhii Bohachuk, and he's like the latter, just in your face, looking to land heavy blows.
But he turns his hand over for every shot. To see it there, he turns that knuckle right over with that right hand. Patrach is trying to fire back. Sorry, Dan. Patrach is trying to fire back here, though. I think that's important.
He is. He got caught in the first 30, 40 seconds of the round with some pretty heavy shots, but he bit down on his gum shield, and he is trying to throw back. But my goodness, has he got his work cut out if Khyzhniak can keep up with his tempo. Can he do that for 8 rounds, though, Darren?
I think so. Look, this is how he trains. This is how he prepares for these kind of fights. But I'd like to see a bit more head movement. He's got a nice high guard, but needs to keep that head slipping and sliding, rolling under the shots of Patrach.
But this is what he does, Khyzhniak. He just fights at the pace, forces you to fire with him, a pace you can't match, and then you run out of steam. But he's relentless with it, because I don't think he loads up on his shots, which means he can just keep going at this pace, non-stop. And I don't think he doesn't throw lots of fast punches, but it's just there's no gaps in it, there's no rest. You can't sort of like give a chance to sort of regain your energy and go again. He's just on you all the time.
He is, and Patrach throws a good lead hand actually. Good left hook and left uppercut. So Khyzhniak has got to be wary of that as that comes at him, but nice tight guard. He looks strong and confident, Darren.
He does. He is a handful. Be interesting to see what weight he settles into. He doesn't look like the biggest light heavyweight to me, Khyzhniak.
He's picking his punches, but even though he's busy, just see there the nice little lead uppercut. Even though there's different looks with that right hand. There, he takes that head over quite often, but sometimes it's different. There's a good shot down back there from Patrach, but just constantly be overwhelmed, isn't he?
And eventually, it's got to get to Patrach, hasn't it? There's only so much of this you can take. 2 minutes, 30 seconds has gone by, and it must have felt like a lifetime in there.
And do you know what? It's the variation now. It's not just the pressure. Look at the shots. They're whipping in, they're hooks, they're uppercuts, drops to the body. Everything's intelligent.
Oh, it's a great
Wicked
shot.
right uppercut straight up the middle there from Khyzhniak. And Patrach is still throwing. But I've got to say, guys, it looks like he's starting to miss more than he is hit. Oleksandr Usyk, ringside, loving a bit of that. He made his debut in front of him. And as one of you said, he doesn't fight like him, does he? It's a completely different style. And a reminder, you're watching and listening to the English commentary. You can click the options button and also listen to commentary in Arabic, Spanish, Latin, Polish, German, French, Japanese and Italian. All of those will be done by Barry Jones this evening.
Right, and Welsh.
We do apologise, we forgot the Welsh, but multiple language options are available live on the zone. Check your audio icon for your language options on your app.
What an incredible venue, by the way. First time I've been here. I think Barry's been here before, but this is special, and it's going to be packed later. The noise in this venue is going to be incredible.
It is someplace. We walked in here earlier on. It was an eye-opener. It is some spectacle.
That's the shot there, Patrach, that left hook. So that was the shot that Sosa landed in that Olympic final in Tokyo that knocked out Khyzhniak. But you've got to set your feet for it. That's the problem. And I'm not sure whether Patrach has the strength in that left hook, but certainly maybe the patience and timing to really get the leverage on the shot.
Yeah, when he throws that left hook, Khyzhniak, let's see there, threw it to the body there. The right hand does stray a little low, sort of just below the chin. He's going to have to be careful of that, because the good fighters, they will counter with their left hook.
Does Patrach need to start going down to the body? Because every time he throws something upstairs, it just gets caught on the gloves of Khyzhniak, doesn't it?
He's got to time his shots more than that. I think that's a good idea, but more than that, he's got to time his shots, like Darren said, but then he throws the jab. If he can block with the right hand and throw the left hook, like block and counter.
That was nice. The head movement was good there after the left to the body. Rolled under, looked for the counter. I want to see a bit more of that. Patrach again, his game he's trying, but he's under the cosh here. Oh, left hook!
Beautiful left hook there by Oleksandr Khyzhniak. And Lenny Patrach finds himself on the canvas, doing the right thing, taking a moment here. And it looks like he will be in a fit state to continue. But I guess Khyzhniak needs to jump straight on him, doesn't he?
Khyzhniak with that left hand, he steps into every shot, doesn't he? Look at this. Well, he's going to be on him, like he has for the offset.
Whether he needs to or he doesn't, he's going to anyway.
And the way he just moves that head off the line when he throws that right hand, fantastic.
A barrage of punches once again from the Ukrainian, but it was a right hand which sent the Frenchman down to the canvas again. The referee has seen plenty. This one is over and done with in the second round. And Oleksandr Khyzhniak has got one mode, and that is beast mode.
Yeah, I mean, he's a powerhouse, isn't he? Like I say, it'd be interesting to see what weight he settles into. It doesn't seem the biggest light heavyweight to me. This man here, the legend that is Oleksandr Usyk, he enjoyed that one. Very patriotic, isn't he? And yeah, Khyzhniak, look, one thing's for sure, he's going to be in some very, very exciting fights. The way he commits to the challenge, the task at hand, he's in your face. He's, as I say, the variation is so eye-catching, Barry.
You're right, no, we always go, his bread and butter is the pressure, relentless pressure, and the way he turns his punches over. But he is a two-time Olympic medalist, gold and silver, 2 Olympic finals, world championships, European championships. The guy's done everything. So, he has technical ability, he has a good boxing brain to go with that. He's not just what you think you see on the tin. He's more than that. He moves the head off the line when he throws shots. He does jab to the body and shot, and he changes that right hand. There's different looks to that right hand all the time with him.
I think the last shot, I mean, that's a beautiful left hook there to finish the combination. And Patrach done really well getting up. Look at this, fully rotates into it, gets the hips into the shot. I will say, however, you can't see it there, but the right hand again's low of Khyzhniak, so he will have to work on that defensively, become a bit more sound. But look at this, I'm pretty sure the last shot here might even be a jab. It really steps into the left hand.
I gotta say, he beat a young Ben Whittaker in European Championships, and Ben showed great toughness, and that's when you realise that Ben Whittaker was more than just flash and ability, that he had toughness before he went on to win his silver medal in the Olympics. What about them two in a rematch in like 18 months down the line? What a fight that would be.
I love you as a matchmaker, Bazza.
I'm pretty good tonight. 10%, please.
Well, over 160 victories Khyzhniak had in the amateurs, and I think Barry has described the type of fighter and his accomplishments brilliantly. He's going to be quite a challenge to match, isn't he, more than anything?
That's the issue, because anyone who's going to fight Khyzhniak is going to demand big money, and it's very hard. But what I will say about him, we've already touched on the pedigree numerous times, is I think he'll climb up the ranks very quickly. I think it won't be too long until he's doing lots of rounds and he's challenging for something quite soon, because of his age as well.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It's the age which is going to be the challenge for him, isn't it? Well, Thomas Chiver is ready, and so are the fighters. So over to him for the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the official time. 1 minute 56 seconds of round number 2. Our referee in charge, Luis Babon, stops the contest. Therefore, your winner by way of technical knockout and still undefeated, the Ukrainian tank, Oleksandr Khyzhniak.
Well, congratulations to all the team and Oleksandr Khyzhniak. He is going to be an exciting fighter to watch over the next few years. And like these guys touched on, what about a fight with Ben Whittaker in a little while? Maybe a couple of years, eh, Darren?
I think so. But again, you're going to want to watch this man fight. The way he approaches a contest, and it's always the same. He's never going to surprise you by going on the back foot. He's going to just become a relentless force, and yeah, he's got a great team around him. The world at his feet. Stay tuned, I guess, for the career of this man here.
I wonder what type of fighter is going to cause him problems, Barry.
You tend to think a mover, but you've got to be able to have enough weight in the shot to get the respect. So when I mentioned Ben Whittaker, the speed and time more for Whittaker, the timing he has, I think that you can time him coming into the shots because he is so route one, and you can take almost be there, take a half a step back and whip a left hook with the timing and speed. You can catch him and possibly hurt him and get him out of his rhythm. But other than that, it's going to be another guy who can push him back, and I can't see that. I mean, he'll be, like Darren already alluded to, I think he'll be matched very tough, quick to get to that world title route as fast as possible.
I mentioned, Serhii Burachik, who's very similar in style to Khyzhniak, and look, someone like Shea Mosley Jr., what he done to Burachik, that's the kind of style. Ben Whittaker, someone who's got quick hands, can move the feet really well, but this man's going to be tough to beat. He's in your face, he's well scored, as we've touched. I do believe he still needs to work on defence. I think offensively he's very, very good. Look, he's relentless, but I think defensively, Barry, just needs to tighten up a bit.
But if he has the engine for long distance fights, so if he can keep this pace up for 8-9 rounds, you make a mistake, your hands start to drop, and he's on you. If he hasn't got the engine, we don't know yet because we haven't seen it. As an amateur, he can do 3 rounds, there's 5 rounds at one point they were doing at a real pace. But if he can do 10, 12 rounds like that, I mean, he's a hard night for anyone because you could never take a second's rest.
It'll be interesting when he fights someone who can weather the storm and a prosperous future ahead.
Well, that's all for our prelims then here in Jeddah. To enjoy the final 6 fights of the night, you'll need to buy the event on DAZN. It's the best place to enjoy all the biggest fights from the wonderful sport of boxing. But don't just take my word for it, take it from the big man himself. as well. Everyone,
let's go. Tune in live on DAZN, July 25th, the best platform for boxing, the home of boxing. If you don't know, you better get to know. See it on billboards. To everyone in Albania, to everyone in Europe, America, Africa, Asia, all across the world. It's going down Saturday night, the return, the comeback, the one and only Kristian Prenga. Anthony Joshua are going to throw it down in the heavyweight division.
Yep, AJ knows that DAZN is the global home of boxing. We've got even more great nights coming your way very, very soon. Of course, tonight starting with Anthony Joshua versus Kristian Prenga. Tomorrow night, Errol Spence Jr. heads down under in his ring return as well to face Tim 2. And then on August 29th, Moses Atalma. What a fight this is. Gets a step closer to a heavyweight world title shot in London when he faces Croatian Filip Hrgovic in the real acid test so far in his young professional journey. And on September the 12th, the WBC welterweight title is on the line. What a fight this is as well, when Conor Benn faces Ryan Garcia. Two great characters. What a fight that is, headed to Sin City very soon right here on DAZN. And one man who will undoubtedly be a big part of all of those big nights, as he is a big part of pretty much everything we see in boxing now. I keep seeing all the comments. Who's the guy in the hat? Who's the guy in the glasses? That was the comments at first, but now Mr. Versace, Rick Reno, you've become a staple character in the world of boxing so far. What are you enjoying about how your life and career has changed since you've become Mr. Versace?
Well, I've certainly been stopped a lot more in the streets these days. Sometimes security has to escort me out because there's a mob scene. So it's something I'm not exactly even used to at this point, but yeah, even when I go out in Las Vegas, which is my home base, every now and then I'm walking and someone will say, "You're the Versace guy," or "You're the guy with the ring belt," or "You're the guy we see in the ring."
Ultimately, Rick, though, as the boxing fan and the boxing man that you are, what are your big questions tonight when you take your seat ringside to watch Anthony Joshua against Kristian Prenga? What do you think is going to be going through your mind? What are you expecting once that opening bell rings?
I mean, it's a very dangerous fight. I mean, AJ's been out of the ring for a while in terms of a real fight. The last time he was in the ring, he suffered a really bad setback. Now he's getting in the ring with a puncher. He's been out. A lot has happened in his life, even on a personal level. And he's coming in against a big guy with heavy hands who is an unknown commodity. And, you know, if AJ's not right physically and mentally, all it takes is one punch in the heavyweight division.
In terms of the carrot that's been dangled in front of him, he's spoken openly about the path this week. Kristian Prenga, Tyson Fury, and then the World Championship. Are you expecting some sort of face-off with Tyson Fury in the ring later on tonight? Because we're hearing he's here. We've not had complete confirmation, but we are hearing he is here. What can you tell us?
I mean, I'm hearing the same thing. You know, obviously AJ has to come through, and if he does come through, we may get the face-off that we've been looking for several years.
How big do you think the fight remains in boxing, Rick? Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. How big is it still today, despite it happening later than many had imagined and wanted?
I mean, it's still a major, major fight. It's still one of the biggest fights that can be made in boxing. I mean, you've been hearing about this fight for years. People have said even now, are they really going to fight? I even hear it in the States. Is Fury and AJ really going to fight? Is it really going to happen this year? Because it's sort of been like a carrot dangled above us. Every year you hear, is it going to happen? Then it doesn't happen. One of them has a setback, an injury, they're out. And now it feels like we might be one fight away from the stars being aligned.
One fighter I know you are a big fan of, as is His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, is back in action tonight in the chief support after becoming world champion just 9 weeks ago. Hamza Shiraz. In terms of a future star, look, he's already a world champion, but in terms of a future star, what do you believe you're looking at in Hamza Shiraz?
I mean, Hamza has apparently, like, for me, reinvented his career at super middleweight. You know, the last time out we saw him at middleweight with Adames, he didn't look that good. Some people thought he may have lost the fight. And he came in at super middleweight, took on a dangerous operator in Berlanga, completely went right through him, went through his first world title win, went right through his opponent, and a lot of people expect him to go right through his opponent tonight. And I know he has his eye on the winner of October's fight between Canelo Alvarez and Kristian and Billy. He wanted to stay busy. A lot of fighters did not want to fight Hamza on a couple of weeks' notice. Simon raised his hand, said, I'll get in the ring with him. He wants to take the lottery ticket. If he wins, it changes his entire life. But he's up against it. He knows he's up against it. And we'll see. He says he's going to give it a go. We'll see what he does.
Let's just speak hypothetically here. I know it's all about extravagance and looking for the best possible fights. Let's say Canelo's victorious against Mbili in October. Hamza Shiraz wins tonight. Do you think you might ever look to bring Canelo to the UK for a big stadium fight?
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, Canelo's got a multi-fight deal with Riyadh Season. Hamza fights on Ring and Riyadh Season cards. I know Spencer Brown wants to make that fight. His Excellency wants to make that fight. The Ring wants to make that fight. But Canelo is a very dangerous fight in front of him with Mbili. And, you know, we have to see this. You know, I actually know people that I respect who think Mbili might win that fight. So we have to see if if Canelo has lost a step or two, I mean, we might see a big upset.
Elsewhere on the card, later on tonight, Josh Kelly defends his world championship for the first time against Khyzhniak. That I know on Versace podcast, you're all about a bit of back and forth, a bit of beef, stirring the pot, a bit of drama. What have you enjoyed about the back and forth between those two this week?
I mean, it seems like it's gotten really personal between the two of them. You know, Josh Kelly's been looking really good in the ring. I remember he had the setback with Evaneson. People wondered, can he make it back? Is he just a British-level fighter? He took on the boogeyman of the junior middleweight division, a guy nobody wanted to fight. He dropped him. He was able to overcome some adversity in the fight, won the world title, and it seems to have elevated him. He looks more confident. He looks in fantastic shape, but he's facing an undefeated challenger tonight. Seems to be a lot of bad blood between them, and a lot of people are picking it to be the fight of the night.
Just finally, Rick, what time is Tyson Fury set to arrive tonight? Because I'm sure there'll be a picture at some stage, you and Tyson walking in, part of the entourage. When's he getting here? Let us know.
I have a feeling that we're all going to be surprised. Everyone's going to have to tune into the zone tonight and see when Fury arrives. He's already got his good friend Alexander Usyk at ringside, asking me every 10 minutes, when is Greedy Belly coming? So it might be some fireworks at ringside before there's even a big face-off.
Well, listen, if you want to have your front row seat for all of the drama that awaits us here at the Jeddah Superdome tonight, head over to thezone.com/boxing to purchase the pay-per-view. Otherwise, you won't be able to see any of the boxing action that awaits you here live on DAZN. From prelims, it is good evening and good night, but we are just getting started here. Saturday Fight Night rolls on right here on DAZN from myself and Mr. Versace. We'll see you on the pay-per-view portion.
Anthony Joshua is on the road to destiny. But first, there is danger. Kristian Prenga. 20 wins, 20 knockouts. And AJ knows, one moment, one mistake, one punch will change history. AJ is back. But there is danger before destiny. Joshua versus Prenga. Live, exclusively on DAZN.
Here we go. Saturday Fight Night comes live from the magnificent Jeddah Superdome, where the headline act will see the return of one Anthony Joshua, as the former two-time heavyweight champion of the world takes on the dangerous puncher Kristian Prenga.
Why are we all talking about the comeback? Like we don't know this is boxing. Like things are promised. Come on, guys. AJ's gone to the mountaintop before. He's worn that crown. He's handled that pressure. And he's had to find his way back when the noise got louder than ever. Now, there's something bigger on his mind. Standing in his way is Kristian Prenga. 20 wins, 20 knockouts. This isn't an opponent you take lightly. Prenga's not coming to take part in AJ's story. No. He's coming to rip it up. Maybe create his own story. Start his own legacy. Before Joshua can even talk about legacy, before he can even speak about that fight, this is what he has to get through. This is the danger. Here we go. AJ returns. Prenga awaits. And the comeback starts when the bell rings.
And that bell is now just a few hours away. It has been billed as the comeback. But for Anthony Joshua, it's the next step on the ladder back to greatness. The destiny is, of course, that showdown with Gypsy King, Mr. Tyson Fury. But before that comes the danger. Kristian Prenga, an all-or-nothing night beckons here at the Jeddah Superdome. And it's all live on Saturday Fight Night on DAZN. Welcome inside this magnificent area. Welcome inside our big studio as well. Adi Oladipo alongside two former world champions who look very similar this evening. But dressed to impress nonetheless, Carl Frampton and Tony Bellew. Here we are, Carl. AJ is now 36, looks younger but is 36. And unless it's a Bernard Hopkins-esque career going into his 50s, this is the final chapter.
Yeah, you would imagine it is. But look, AJ's someone who lives the life all year round. He's not a partier, I don't think. He doesn't drink much. He's always looks in incredible shape. So although this can probably be called the last chapter, I'd still suggest there's a few more years left in AJ.
It's good to be back in Saudi Arabia, isn't it, as well, Tony? All the big fights have, 90% of the big fights have happened here for the last 2.5, 3 years. This is another big night of boxing.
This place has redesigned boxing, it's reinvented it. It brought it back alive when it was on its knees. This place changed it, so yeah, I'm happy it's here. Listen, what a setup this is. It's an amazing setup. The stages backstage is just unbelievable. The whole fight zone atmosphere is fantastic. So yeah, it's really good. Touching on Joshua's age, never forget, guys, the heavyweights are a bit different than every other division. And a heavyweight like Anthony Joshua, he's coming into his prime years, if I'm totally honest. Whether it comes to learning fights, the best we've seen of Lennox Lewis was in these years now.
Yeah, and Vladimir Klitschko, there's a few that you could bring that to as well. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. We were at the weigh-ins yesterday on the shore, and it started to seep through that Tyson Fury had got the job done against Marius Vac. That's almost that semi-final. This is another semi-final. We don't know if Mr. Gypsy King's going to be here tonight, but he's done his part. AJ has to do his part.
Yeah, he does. But look, we're all confident that he will, and we all expect him to. But we've been talking about it all week. When there's that much expectation on you, sometimes that just adds a little bit more pressure. But I think AJ is someone who has had these pressurized situations throughout his career, amateur and pro, and he can deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, if you are Fury, I said this to you yesterday, and you kind of batted me down. Is it not mind games to fight the day before AJ does? Almost, and look, let's be honest, an easier opponent as well, as if to say, look, I've done my bit, up to you now, AJ.
When Tyson Fury's involved, it's always mind games. So that's a given. So make of that what you will, but if Tyson's involved, there's always a mind game or a strategy to his thinking.
Yeah, fingers crossed he is here tonight. That's going to be interesting. If AJ does win, Tyson Fury going over the top rope to confront AJ will be fantastic. He has sent a message to Anthony Joshua as well. Hopefully we've, bleeped out all the stuff that we shouldn't hear, but this is what Tyson Fury said to AJ yesterday.
Go and suck me big gypsy balls. Tell him that. And he's getting chinned. I want to keep going, I want to box. And if the fight's going to be postponed till next year, I'm going to fight again and again and again. I'm not just going to stay out the ring and wait for a sausage, a big useless potato. I could have sat down and done all for 2 years just to fight, like I said in there tonight. It's the whole build-up, fight week, press conferences, weigh-ins, wrapping your hands for real, going out there having a fight with a big man. it all builds you up for the next one.
You're definitely not going to Jeddah, right?
Yeah, I'm going, yeah. See you there, ringside.
I don't know if he's coming or not. Honestly, I don't know. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a character. Balls is clearly a word you don't have to bleep out because we didn't. But it is good to hear from him. And I don't mind this going back and forth with AJ. I think it starts to sell already.
Of course it does. But look, let's